3 years ago, out of the West Road, Charlie White of USC, 6,200 yards, 49 career touchdowns, and a run through the roses. And the Cleveland Browns took him number 1. He won the Heisman Award, the Maxwell Award, and then 2 very average years here in Cleveland. But suddenly, Greg Pruitt was traded, and Rutigliano had his starting tailback. You're right, it was Charlie White. Against Seattle last week, 72 yards rushing, 5 passes caught for 66 yards. And the new young Cleveland defense nailed down a 21-7 win. Contrasting the 6th-round draft 6 years ago for the Eagles, Wilbert Montgomery from Abilene Christian. 3 out of his 4 years, over 1,000 yards rushing, and always one of the most dangerous pass receivers in football. Last week against the Redskins, 63 yards rushing, 4 catches for 99 yards, and 3 touchdowns. The Eagle offense was on a hot roll. Jaworski's greatest day, Carmichael's greatest catch, and yet the Redskins got 37 points and beat the Eagles in the home opener. And so today at Municipal Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio, it's the Philadelphia Eagles against the Cleveland Browns. And the Eagles haven't won here since 1960. Modell's Cleveland Stadium. And if you don't wear your shoulder pads, don't come into Cleveland to play football. It's 65 degrees, the best football day I've ever seen to play football right here. But the Browns are always tough. I'm Tom Brookshire. I used to wear the Eagle green. With me is Wayne Walker. He used to wear that Honolulu blue for Detroit for 15 years. Wayne, if you come in here and really don't put on the pads and hit, this ball club can beat you with this crowd behind them, huh?
No question. They've got great tradition here, Tom, and they've put together a young defense right now that I think is going to be in 2 or 3 years, if they can stay together, as good as any in the league. Got some great linebackers. Tom Cousineau coming down from Canada. We'll take a long look at him this afternoon. And a rookie who I think coming in, Chip Banks, and might have more physical ability than anyone I've seen.
They're expensive, though, aren't they?
Yes, they are, a little bit. Now, their whole defense doesn't have what you call a great pass rusher, but they've got 4 guys up front when they get in their nickel that just keep buzzing at you and come in there like bees and never give up.
All right, now, last week, Jaworski threw 38 times, but they lose the football game. I had a feeling talking to different people, including Jaworski, that Vermeil might become conservative and run Wilbert a lot and not throw the ball as much. Do you think so?
Tom, I know that he was really happy with the game plan that they put together last week. Jaworski did throw 38 times. He had the best day of his career. I doubt very much we'll see him put the ball in the air 38 times today. Dick Vermeil will only do that perhaps if his team falls behind or the game is close. I think we'll see a whole lot more of Wilbert Montgomery. We're just about ready to go for the kickoff. Now let's go to Tom Brookshire.
Okay, we're looking at Tony Franklin. He does not like to kick on natural grass, and Dino Hall, a young man from Glassboro State over in South Jersey, is waiting for it right at the goal line. Dwight Walker is also back. The no-footed one gets it underway. His kickoff is low. It's bouncy. Taken by Dwight Walker at the 5. Walker's got some running room. Walker is tipped up from behind and gets to the 28-yard line as Brown pulled him down from behind. Not a very good kickoff. Here's the Cleveland offense. Be careful. Seif is still a great throwing quarterback. Pruitt had 136 yards last week. Charlie White, we've talked about him. Logan, a 6'5" man that's also their motion flanker. Rick Beecher, who made Reggie Rucker retire from football. A good offensive line. Deacon, Jackson, Dillon, Delamalure, and Ryson. And Ozzie Newsome, maybe one of the best tight ends in football. They're good. First down. Newsome now moves to the right side of the formation. Throw set. Handoff. White gets through a big hole and gets to the 43-yard line. And the first play by Charlie White, and Randy Logan had to make the tackle. Here's the Eagle defense. Harrison Clark and Carl Hairston. They've got to be physical. Bunning Chesley, Lamaster, and Jerry Robinson. They are physical. The secondary, Ronell Young, Herman Edwards had a bad week against Washington. Logan and Wilson are really in that safety spot. 1st and 10. That's Newsome moving to the right side of the formation. The handoff to the weak side goes Pruitt. Pruitt gets almost to midfield. Carl Harrison made the tackle.
Pruitt is one of the pure fullbacks in this league, number 43 right there as you look at him, Tom. A power guy. He's not nifty. He's got great speed and acceleration, and he just keeps coming at you a whole lot like Philadelphia fans saw Washington Redskins back John Riggins do last week.
He used to run a 60 and 6'2", which is pretty fast. 2nd down and 5. Seif back to throw his first one. He's not being rushed. He has time to hit Newsome coming across the middle. Newsom gets to the Eagle 35. LeMaster making the tackle.
Frank LeMaster on the stop there on Ozzie Newsom told us yesterday when we had a conversation with him, he felt that the key to stopping the Cleveland passing attack was stopping Newsom at the line of scrimmage before he got off with a good chuck from the outside linebacker.
You mean chucking him legally, right?
That's right. Newsom is right at the screen, coming across the middle. Now got off clean inside, and you see what happens.
Remember, the Eagles only got one sack against the Redskins, and Theismann threw it a bunch. Here's the 1st and 10 on the 35. Browns are driving. Straight handoff to Pruitt. Charlie White tried to get the block for him, but not much. No gain. Kenny Clark stacking it up.
Kenny Clark, the nose tackle, and then a fine read by LeMaster on the inside. He came in over. He was the second man.
There's Denny Harrison. They call him Bigfoot. There's Carl Hairston. He's just a very physical, tough player. He and Doug Deacon may be a real good battle all day.
Hairston perhaps the most physical of anybody up front for the Eagles.
Big play right here. Second down as Newsom moves to the right side to make it strong right. Here's the blitz is on. A little bit of pressure by Harrison, and Logan is overthrown at the 20-yard line. Cornell Young had him under control.
You called the blitz, and that's a rare blitz for the Eagles to use. They did not get much pressure last week on Joe Theismann, and he had a great day against him. They had to figure out a way to get some kind of pass rush on site, who stands in there really well. That time they brought the inside linebacker LeMaster, who got some penetration, got a hand up, and cut down Sipe's passing lane.
Remember now that both with Tigliano and Vermeil have said they want to get into the nickel-type operation. They want to work against it, and I guess if you've got a good defense, you want your nickel defense in there, too. The Eagles have theirs in now. Pruitt and Dwight Walker are the backs. Pro set, that's Logan in motion. Straight drop back. Now the backs are checking out of the backfield. Big rush. A good catch by Walker. Being chased out of bounds by number 58. Anthony Griggs, the rookie out of Ohio State. Vermeil and Bednarik looking on.
But some pressure that time coming in from the right side. Watch it right here. Sipe had to move, slide left, right at the last. Couldn't get on that ball what he wanted. And it's short of the first down by about a yard or two.
2 field goal attempts were blocked against Seattle, and 1 was wide. So Young Barr has not kicked a field goal yet. And I believe they're just going to go for it on 4th and a couple, aren't they? That pressure, by the way, was by Leonard Mitchell. They're not in a short yardage defense. Looks like Dennis Harrison's offside. Pruitt picks it up anyway. Pruitt to the 24-yard line. And the Eagles are offside.
Anytime you got a critical situation like that, 4th down and less than 5 yards, a lot of times the quarterback will try to draw you off with the inflection of his voice or going for a long count. That time it worked for the Browns, although Pruitt did pick it up anyway.
You think he threw him off by coming up and into a regular pro-type offense instead of the short yardage offense, maybe?
Well, I'm not really sure that threw him off or not. As you see, the offsides was on number 68, Dennis Harrison.
Offside, number 68 defense. First down.
Get an end zone look here right now. Over on the right side of your screen, number 68, Dennis Harrison, moved early. And that was the penalty. So it's 1st and 10 now.
Jerry Seaman is the official, the referee. We will try to name all of the men in black and white as quickly as we can. It's a 1st down. Well, the Browns have a good opening drive. Charlie White's back in the game. Side, straight drop back. No pressure this time. Oh, throws a knuckler. Logan almost catches it at the Eagle 14. Herman Edwards batted it away. What kind of a throw was that?
Well, you know what? I think we saw another blitz that time. I think Al Chesley came in from an inside linebacker spot on kind of a delayed blitz, and I think he may have got a finger on the ball. Let's look at now the linebacker, Chesley, number 59. Here he comes. He's to the left of sight. He keeps coming. He'll throw a hand up, and see that? He deflected that ball.
Looked like one of those wet pitches of Gaylord Perry's or something. Almost caught by Logan, who is a tremendous receiver, number 85. There's Al Chesley, the big guy from Pittsburgh University. 2nd down and 10. White's out of the backfield. The draw play. They run good draws, and Pruitt gets inside the 20-yard line. LeMaster told us that this team might run the best series of draws of anybody they'll see this year.
He was definitely worried about it, and he got a lot of help that time. As you look at LeMaster right there from John Bunny, number 95, who made an excellent read and came inside to make that tackle.
The draw, and if you're a good pass defensive team, if you can't stop the draw, you can't stop anything the other team is. All right, third down, and call it 7. Browns have taken the opening kickoff and really just laid it on. A good Eagle defense, make no mistake about it. They used to be number 1. Sipe changing the offense. Looks like an audible. Straight drop back. Oh, a little bit of pressure and touchdown. Ozzie Newsome made a lunging catch in the end zone. Getting by Bree Wilson, I believe, number 22. Boy, he is dynamite.
Philadelphia showed Sipe an 11-man front that time. Looked like they were going to blitz. They pulled off at the last, didn't. They had double coverage out there on Newsom, Bernard Wilson, 22, Herman Edwards, 46, and Sipe put it in there like it was on a wire.
Remember what Fred Bruni and Campbell said? They have to be able to hit Ozzie Smith near that line of scrimmage, or Ozzie Newsome, or they won't be able to handle this big tight end. This is Matt Barr, number 9. McDonald, second quarterback, is holding. Looks good. The Browns draw ahead 7-0. A 71-yard drive in 10 plays. And Vermeil's offense has yet to come onto the field. There are 80,000 tickets sold for this game. As you can see, at 4 minutes and 2 seconds, a great Cleveland Brown opening drive. Here's the kickoff by Steve Cox. He's the punter and also does the kicking off. This is not a good one. This is a wiggler down the left side. And that's Mel Hoover, the rookie from Arizona State for the Eagles, and he's knocked and dropped it to 21. That's Eddie Johnson down under that kickoff.
He's a speed linebacker and a great special teams player, number 51 right there. Only weighs about 200 pounds, but he's got 4 6 feet from his linebacker spot.
There's the offense. Ron Jaworski having a great preseason and first game. Harrington, Montgomery, Ron Smith, the speed guy, and of course Harold Carmichael. Walters, Kinney, Guy Morris, Baker, Jerry Sizemore, All-Pro, and John Spagnola, the first tight end we'll see today. Ball is on the 22, call it. Harrington back in the fullback spot on the eye. Here's the drive to Wilbert Montgomery. Montgomery stacked up the 27-yard line. Here's the new defense under Schottenheimer for the Cleveland Browns. They come out with a 34, and here it is. Marshall Harris, Henry Bradley, and Mike Robinson. Robinson made Alzado expendable. Chip Banks from SC, he's dynamite. Cousineau, a lot of money, and he's a great player. Ambrose and Cower, who used to be with the Eagles. Johnson and Hanford Dixon, Burrell, and Clarence Scott, who's played forever for Cleveland, is very good. Second down 6. Here's the drive again to Montgomery. He gets a couple of yards, and he stood straight up.
Guess who smacked him, too? Chip Banks, a big rookie linebacker that we've been talking about. Tremendously strong. What a physical specimen he is, Tom. We went in the locker room yesterday and got a look at his shoulders. They've issued him the largest shoulder pads in the history of the Cleveland Browns, a size 54, and he only weighs 230.
Without him, he looks like he has them on.
I know, you could put 30 more pounds on that young man right there, and you wouldn't know where it was.
He had 2 sacks against Seattle. The team had 8. Shotgun formation. 3rd down and 4. The 4-down lineman for the pass rush. Jaworski has a lot of time outside to Billy Canfield. 1st down to the 33-yard line. Boy, Jaworski had a lot of pass protection.
That was the key to that. Eddie Johnson, the linebacker, was in that time on the Cleveland nickel. They go 4-down linemen, 2 linebackers, bring Johnson in. Cousineau and Johnson stay. And they got him running across. Although Johnson has good speed, Jaworski had enough time for the receiver to come open.
Everybody knows that Coach Dick Vermeil, you see there, does get the signaled play into Jaworski, who then calls it for the team. And as Ron was telling us yesterday, they use the whole field. The Gilman approach is the whole football field is where the play might go.
Spread it out laterally and horizontally.
First down and 10. Wilbert Montgomery trying to bounce outside. Good play by the secondary. Burrell comes up from the safety spot and really made a good tackle. And he had an 80-yarder call back, didn't he?
Yes, he
last
did.
Week?
Turned into, I think, an 8-yard. It would have been an 85 or 86-yard touchdown run for Wilbert last week. Turned into 8 yards because he just nicked the sideline on his way.
Remember his greatest game against Cleveland in '79, Wilbert rushed for 197 yards. He likes to play against Cleveland. Second down, 9. Carmichael into the slot. Jaworski with time again misses Ronnie Smith at midfield. And Dixon had Smith under control anyway. Vermeil is not quite as intense on the sidelines as he has been in years past.
Well, you know, he said last week that he wasn't quite sure about his team's intensity. And even though they lost last week, Tom, that was such a great football game that I don't think he has that question in his mind anymore.
And he knows Wilbert Montgomery, the thoroughbred, is ready to play this year. No doubt about that. Here's shotgun, another third down facing the Eagles. Browns took it right down and scored on their opening drive. There's trips to the left side of the formation. Jaworski going away from it to number 82, makes a diving catch. That's Mike Quick, the #1 draft out of North Carolina State. Looks like Jaworski's not happy with the pattern the young man ran.
Well, they threw a blitz at him that time off their nickel. They brought a linebacker and a defensive back. He hung in there extremely well. Released it right at the last. Watch this out of the shotgun from the end zone. See the loops up there and the blitz? Right on the money.
They really like Quick. He's not the fastest receiver, but Jaworski said he's going to be a great player. Another first down for the Eagles. The ball's out on the 46-yard line. High formation, drop back pass. Jaworski throwing to Spagnola in traffic, and the ball is knocked away. Dick Ambrose got a hand on it. They said that the Browns like to double on the outside, which should make the tight end, rather active today, wouldn't it?
Well, when they double the two outside receivers, what that does is you see Dick Ambrose, number 52, getting the signals from the side. When they double the two outside receivers, that basically turns the tight end over to one of the linebackers. So they'll be trying to spot that.
Ambrose, a good guy to have in there next to Cousineau, so he can help the young man to make sure he's in the right spot at the right time. Second down and 10. Slot formation left to the bottom of your screen. Jaworski going for Spagnola. This time the big tight end has it, and it's going to be close to the first down. I believe he got it. Cousineau making the tackle along with Burrell.
Jaworski is really high on John Spagnola this year, and he used him a lot. 4 catches last week against the Redskins. Looking for him twice already here this afternoon. He thinks that Spagnola has been influenced a lot just by hanging around Keith Prepley for a couple, 3 years and seeing his intensity on the field. Said it's helped him a lot, Spagnola as a ball player.
He's big. He was cut by New England, but he's a load at about 6'5", 235 pounds. Another first down. Straight drop, 3-step drop back. Wilbert Montgomery takes it for another first down.
That's where they're going to go, Tom, over there on that corner. Lawrence Johnson, number 48, is making a start over there because the regular cornerback, Ron Bolton, is injured. Number 48 is Johnson. This is his 3rd year, but he has not played much for the Browns in the 2 previous years. A great prospect. He's got a tremendous speed, but has never been much of a hitter. And being new in there and without much playing time, you can bet your works is going to look that way.
Any cornerback is susceptible these days because you can't touch anybody. Another first down on the 33 now, the Cleveland 33. Jaworski's got to move in the toss after Wilbert Montgomery. Oh, and Perry Harrington. That's Harrington getting back inside. They call him a fullback, but he sort of runs like a halfback. Marshall Harris making the tackle. Harrington, a number 2 draft a year ago, and he's got great speed, but perhaps not the blocking abilities you would like to have at fullback. But he can run. Coach Vermeil on the sidelines. They signal in. They'll have dummy people. Sometimes Pisarcik on number 9 will be signaling. Sometimes Coach Becker, the backfield coach. You don't know which one's the live signal. Second down 4. Trying to go outside is Harrington. Harrington with that good speed gets the first down. Clarence Scott having to make the tackle. Good run by Harrington.
Well, that's his second excellent adjustment in a row. On the play before that, he was trying to run a sweep to the left. It was jammed. He cut back inside. Watch this bounce out right here. See the block by Wilbert Montgomery on the linebacker. And then the bounce out. Great block by number 31 that time. He had someone left. He had a pin. One of your famous pins when you put them on the ground and keep them there.
Takedown. Boy, both offenses have come out and are really laying down good X's and O's. 4:12 left in the first quarter. 7-0 Cleveland lead. Eagles are on the move. Spagnola, the tight end in motion. Running, weak side flare. Now roll across the middle, caught by Vito Cab, the rookie from Penn State. A tumbling catch. Ambrose touched him down, but I believe the rookie's about the 5-yard line.
Well, I'll tell you what, and if the veteran Clarence Scott at free safety doesn't just trip Vito Cab up, it might be 6 points. He read it right at the last and got back into the flow of things as Cab ran under the linebackers, tripped him up right there. There's no one else behind Vito Cab at that point. First and goal now for the Eagles on the 5.
Pretty good play, too. The little sprint out move by Jaworski, almost naked, but it worked. It got him that extra step or two. First and goal for the Eagles from the 5. 3 tight ends in the ballgame. The toss back to Montgomery. Wilbert Montgomery to tackle from behind by Chip Banks, and I believe he fumbled the football. Let's see if they called him down. Remember, the ground cannot cause a fumble.
Tell me what a great block that time on that play by Perry Harrington, number 35. Watch him lead. Watch him get Chip Banks over here to the left of your screen. Watch him knock him out and down. Here comes Montgomery. That's Ambrose, 52, diving in, making a stop. Cousineau is 50. As you said, the ground can't cause a fumble. So that is Philadelphia ball still. Second down and goal.
Clarence Scott fell on it, but no good. They called, blew the whistle dead. The crowd doesn't like it. It's a big crowd. Second goal. Jaworski missing Spagnola in the end zone. Twisting try by the man from Yale.
Well, Tom, we talked about the top of the show. Did you think Dick Vermeil would go conservative? Right there, play action pass on second down, 2 yards away from 6 points, tells you that no, he's not going to go conservative. That was almost there. Jaworski threw it just a touch behind. Cousineau leaping, can't quite get a hand on it.
Defensis was in there, too.
Just behind Spagnola, or they may have had 6.
Third down and goal from the 2. This is a must for the Eagles. You don't want to come down dry or try a field goal. Timeout's called. Jaworski wants to get things straight. Leroy Harrison coming in fullback. 2:24 left in the first period. What a game. What a day in Cleveland. The Browns lead 7-0. Third down and goal to go. The Browns took the opening kickoff and drove it right down and scored. And the Eagles have taken the ball, and with some third downs facing them, Jaworski has led them to the shadow, as they would say. Third down and 2, and Leroy Harris, the fullback, is in there for Dick Vermeil. Spagnola, and of course, Wilbert Montgomery. That's Bednarik standing behind the Eagle coach.
Well, they're in a run formation right now, Tom.
Sure are. 3 tight ends in the ballgame. Here's the sweep by Montgomery. Awfully close, but he doesn't get there. About the 1 or 2 yard line, and gang tackled by Cousineau and Banks.
Good play by the linebackers as the Eagles came out that time and just flat told the Cleveland Browns, we're going to run this ball at you. See how tight they were in there? That's not a passing formation. Watch the linebackers and the Cleveland white defense flow on this one. 52 is Ambrose right there. Oh. He makes the first hit coming over.
Great action by that
Got
defense.
the safety. Look at Cousineau. There's a lot of white shirts there. Fourth down, they'll go again.
Marshall Harris got good penetration from defensive end, too. 4th and 2. It's a pass. Jaworski's going to try to bootleg it. He's close to the goal line. Let's see if they call it a touchdown or not. Chip Bates says no. The Eagles say yes. And the Browns have held. Did he get that ball over the line or not?
You've got to break the plane of the goal line with the ball. The Eagles thought Jaworski did. Evidently they didn't.
Cousineau in the middle of that.
Cousineau and I think number 29, the cornerback Hanford Dixon, was up there with the initial hit, then got the help from the big guys. Let's look at here. Goal line both ways. 3 tight ends. This is a bootleg. It looked like the last play. Jaworski keeps this time and rolls right. Look at, he's got Cower, the linebacker, following. Look at this right here. Dixon, the only man that can save this touchdown, goes in, makes the hit. Clarence Scott helps out. Here comes Cousineau to keep Jaworski from breaking the plane of the goal line. That was a tough call to make.
I wish we'd had that replay from the goal line. It looked like it was awfully close. In a minute, we may have that, so hang around. That was close.
That'll be worth some discussion, no question about that.
The linebacker sealed it off.
Here it is. You're going to see it from the best place possible, right from the goal line. Here's Jaworski. Dixon, number 29, the first hit. Scott, the second. Watch the ball. Does it break the plane of the goal line? Whoa, that's still tough to call.
An official was looking right down the line.
Same as we were.
The safety men did their part, the cornerback, and then those linebackers finished it off. And oh, how you love that linebacker. 1:28 left. The Browns just threw up a goal line stand. 2 great offenses. The first one by the Cleveland Browns for a touch. Took about 4 minutes and something. Look how much is left after the Eagles got through with their drive, but no points. The ball on the 1-yard line. Charlie White and Mike Pruitt behind sight. Be careful time with the football. Pruitt.
Here it is again. The run by Jaworski. Now, did he or didn't he? You see the official straddling the goal line right there at the bottom of your picture. There's the 2 hits. Another lunge. Cousineau comes in to seal. We've got it frozen right there. From that viewpoint right there where we froze that picture, it does not look like he made it.
All I know is that defense really played like gangbusters inside the 5. You can't do much better than that.
They're active. They really hustle and pursue. That's why they thought a play like a bootleg would work against them.
And now the Eagles' defense is to keep the Browns pinned down and take the punt in good field position. Handoff. Charlie White. Nothing doing. Big Leonard Mitchell in there and Kenny Clark, I believe. Also, Jerry Robinson, the great Eagle linebacker. How much do you think the Eagles are missing Charlie Johnson, who went to Minnesota?
Well, Tom, I think they miss his spirit a lot, but they certainly didn't miss him on the field last week. That guy right there, number 71, had perhaps the best game of anybody on defense last week for the Eagles.
He's a psychology major, you know that?
Keeps coming, and he had a fine game last week against the Redskins. And Frank LeMaster told us that he felt he had the best game of anybody on defense.
Defensive lineman who's a psych major. If I ever have to go lay on the couch, I may take his advice there. It's 3rd down. It's 9. That'll end the first period, and what a first period. Some great football on a beautiful, almost cloudless day in Cleveland, Ohio, right on Lake Erie. At the end of 1, it's Cleveland 7, Philadelphia nothing. Man, there's going to be a lot of fireworks. This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League and is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Cleveland Browns Football Club and the National Football League is strictly prohibited. 1 quarter gone. The Eagles, of course, getting 34 points a week ago against Washington, were unable to get off the slider in this first quarter. Yeah, but Vermeil is keeping himself under control these days. A couple of years ago, he would have been on the playing field. 3rd down and 9 to go. Ball's on the 2. Pruitt gets about to the 3.5-yard line. Eagle defense looks like they're laying some leather on now.
They are, and keep in mind now in this punt formation, the ball is only out to about the 3 or 4 yard line. I think the 4 now for the Browns. So They're not going to be able to take full advantage of a spread punt formation.
And be very careful. Steve Cox is a three-step kicker who drops the ball very low. You might have a chance to get a hand on it. I think the Eagles might try.
Yeah, they got 10 guys up there, so they may be coming after him. Watch how low this guy drops the ball on the punt. Real near the ground as it makes contact with his foot.
Wally Henry back at midfield waiting for the punt if it gets there. He kept it low. It's a pretty good kick, though. Wally Henry at the 41. Just back off waivers. Good return. Holds on to the ball and gets to the 32 of Cleveland. Good field position. As Cower, the former Eagle, makes the tackle. A 38-yard punt and a good return by Wally Henry. The crowd a little bit quiet. 80,000 tickets have been sold. It's 7-0 Cleveland. Nail biter we've got here. The San Francisco 49ers are in Denver. 49ers lost that opener. Walsh is a little bit unhappy, and I guess Denver lost a pretty tough one, too, to San Diego, didn't it?
Bill Walsh is concerned. That's not the same team that you saw last year. They've lost about a player a week all through the preseason and last week with injuries.
Don't forget, right here on CBS, it's our doubleheader day. Jaworski. Robert Montgomery, inside handoff to Harrington. He is brought down at the 30-yard line. Good defensive play by Marshall Harris. Elsewhere, New Orleans leading the Chicago Bears 7-0 at Soldier Field.
Kenny Stabler, a touchdown pass in that one.
Pittsburgh 7-0 over Cincinnati. Boy, the Steelers have come back.
And Bradshaw to Stallworth for that one.
The L.A. Raiders, boy, it's hard to say, 7-0 over Atlanta in the first quarter.
Marcus Allen has a touchdown.
And Kansas City has a notch on San Diego, but that's early. There may be 100 points in that game. Second down and 8 to go on the 30-yard line. A three-step drop by Jaworski. Hits Ron Smith, and Smith can't hang on at the 16-yard line. Chip Banks was trailing him, but Smith looked like he was going to open up pretty fast there.
They were giving Lawrence Johnson, the young guy we talked about earlier, the left cornerback, a little bit of help that time. That was that double-double over there. He came up, made a quick bump on number 81, Ron Smith, but right in the dead zone before the safety could come over. Jaworski had it on the money.
Canfield is in now. Of course, a great third down receiver out of the backfield.
That's Lawrence Johnson right there. 9'4" sprinter in college at Wisconsin.
Depends on which direction you're going, though, when you're fast like that. Third down, and call it 9. Shotgun. Good pass protection. Canfield. And drops the ball at the 10-yard line. Looked like he had it for a moment.
Jaworski made a great read that time. Again, that was the double-double where they doubled the two outside receivers. The perfect thing to go to in that situation is your tight end down the middle or a running back down the middle because they'll be covered by a linebacker. Good protection up front. And he waited. He lofted it over Cousineau. Cousineau covering Campfield. I don't care what they're paying you. It's tough to cover a running back coming out of the backfield one-on-one.
It was catchable, too. Tony Franklin on the kick now, the barefooted one. Twin 44-yard field goals against the Redskins. Jaworski will hold. Johnny Shara, of course, injured and probably out most of the season with a fracture. This will be from the 37, a 47-yard field goal attempt. Let's see. He had plenty on it. It's good. A strike by Tony Franklin. The man from San Antone, the new father, puts the Eagles on the board. They were knocking. They needed those points. It's Cleveland 7, Philadelphia 3. Former Texas Aggies ready now to kick off after his field goal has got the Eagles on the board. It's a deep kickoff. That's Dino Hall at the 4-yard line. Dino Hall, the 160-pounder, gets out. He's hit hard at the 29-yard line. Pretty good coverage by the Eagles. Canfield down under it. I think a flag is down.
Dino Hall, their little kick return specialist. What a story he is. They got him listed at 167, and there's no way, is there? It looks like he weighs about 150 pounds.
Glassboro State's right down the road from Philadelphia. Probably a lot of people remember him as a great baseball player, too, right?
Yes, he was. He was the Ricky Henderson of Glassboro State. 109 attempts to steal, 105 successes when he was in college.
Born to be a thief. Here's the call now by Jerry Seaman.
Illegal block, number 81 on the receiving team during the return.
Cleveland's got to be a little careful on offense. 13:04 left before halftime. Deep in his own territory, Seibert might go with the running game for a while. First and 10, the ball's on the 15. Charlie White and Mike Pruitt. They do a pro set. Sipe is back to throw it. Got two receivers out, and it's almost intercepted by Herm Edwards. Intended for feature, and Edwards really read the deep sideline. Would that have been a touchdown?
Well, he'd have been gone. That was 6. Sipe is breathing a huge sigh of relief right now.
There is no breeze to speak of. They talked about a 10-mile-an-hour breeze, but it does swirl sort of funny off the lake in this stadium.
Here it is again. Here's feature on the pattern. A simple turn about 12 yards deep. Watch Herman Edwards come in, play it beautifully, and just miss the interception.
Almost had to line up for the extra point. Second down 10. Back to throw again. Sipe unloading to the outside. Overthrows White. Closely covered by John Bunning. Sipe doesn't look like he's settled down right now. He looks like he's dancing a little bit.
Well, he's in a tough area field position-wise, so he has to be a little careful, although he sure wasn't with that first throw. He didn't have a great game last week against Seattle. He was just 11 for 23 in that one for 138 yards, as they did most of their good work on the ground.
This is the fellow that in 1980 was the MVP. What, 30 touchdown passes?
And you see his downfall. I know that graphic right there. Big interceptions last year.
Large play in this first half right here. 3rd down and 10. Check down in the backfield. He's being rushed. Sipe back on the warning track. Now he has some time. He's going to run with it. Chased by Denny Harrison and knocked down after a first down run at the 27-yard line.
You got everybody on defense now shaking their head. Tommy, you know that. You've been in a defensive situation when that happens. You get back there and you play your defense, and just like they draw it up on the board, you play it as well as you can. You got everybody covered. You get good pressure. And on a broken play, the quarterback gets out of there and picks up a first down.
And the word on Sipe is that he only runs to get in position to throw the ball. He doesn't like to run with it. That was a great run. Out of the hole, first down. Pruitt and White back in there now. The run by the quarterback. No set offense. Here's a man in motion. Takes it back there. That's Pruitt. Boy, he is a 220-pound load. Harrison and Kenny Clark on the tackle. About the line of scrimmage.
Good play by the defensive left end that time. Dennis Harrison. And great pursuit by the nose tackle, number 71, Ken Clark, who got totally outside on that.
John Bunning transferred the news in there. Do you think they might send one of the linebackers out of that 34 this time?
Well, we've seen it a couple times. It would surprise me if they would on a 2nd and 10.
Great drop back. Here comes the linebacker, LeMaster. Clark hits him. A great catch by Newsom at the 40-yard line. And what a throw by Sipe, and Sipe is still on the ground.
Newsom, a great athlete, as you see Brian Sipe getting up, and he was the man, number 82, Newsom, that most of the Philadelphia defense was concerned about. You had to get him stopped, they said today, to play a good defensive game. Sipe with pretty good protection. Newsom running across under the linebackers right there. It was LeMaster coming across right there that made the hit.
And Kenny Clark, number 71, was right in Sipe's face. Good pass and a great catch. 1st and 10. There's Newsom. He could play for Bear Bryant.
69 catches last year, over 1,000 yards.
Strong formation right out of the eye. Charlie White gets about 2, and he's really cracked at the knees. Chesley, the big linebacker, and LeMaster and Harrison.
Charlie White, of course, made a ton of his yardage in college out of the I formation, and a lot of people thought that the reason that he didn't do so well the first 2 years he was up there was because he wasn't running out of the I formation. We talked to his coach, Partigliano, yesterday. He said, no, that's baloney. He can run out of any formation we got and run well.
I've never seen him take a backward step. White always goes forward. Quick drop by Sipe outside. Quick tackle by Herm Edwards on feature at about the 46-yard line. Sipe's a pretty nifty 13th round draft choice, though, isn't he? Quite a QB.
He may be the best 13th round draft choice in Cleveland history, and was 2 years on the taxi squad.
Don't forget, next Saturday, NCAA football right here on CBS. The number 3 ranked Nebraska team that had so much trouble with New Mexico State. They only beat them 68-0. They take on Penn State, 8th rated. And of course, Paterno always has a great club. 3:30 Eastern Time, Nebraska, Penn State on CBS. Can't wait to see that one myself.
That Blackledge is having a year for Penn State, the quarterback.
3rd and 2. Pruitt for the first down. He runs to the left. I think he runs better to the left than he does to the right.
It seems like he does. He ran that time behind the guard, Robert Jackson, a number 73, the offensive left tackle for the Cleveland Browns. Only the 3rd left tackle they've had in the history of this franchise since they were an NFL team. Doug Deacon, number 73.
The 3rd left tackle. Who was the first one? I guess Groza, right? Luke Groza was number 1.
Luke Groza and then Dick Shafrath. And now Doug Deacon. In the history of this franchise, the only 3 offensive left tackles they've had.
The greatest holders in the history of the game.
They've passed the baton from one to the other.
Here's the measurement. Looked like he had it, but some drive. Remember where this started.
I want to belittle those guys. They were great football players too, Tommy. And they did whatever it took to get the job done.
I never came into Cleveland that I didn't go back to Philadelphia and spend about 4 days in the whirlpool on my back. Right on the 50, first down. Some drive by the Browns on the 1-yard line. Straight ahead. Pruitt, big fullback, breaks out to the 40-yard line. Ran right at Denny Harrison. Terry Wilson had to make the tackle.
We're going to look at it now from the end zone. He'll go right this time. That's Joe DeLamiere working on Al Chesley, number 59, perhaps the best lineman on this team. Gets him straightened up and makes contact and keeps contact with him until Pruitt is by for the big gain.
DeLamiere came over in 80 down from Buffalo, where he was one of the great guards for O.J. Simpson for years. He is a good one. 2nd down and 1. First down. Offensive line firing out now for Cleveland, really going after it.
Well, Tom, that's what I noticed about this Cleveland team last week watching their game against Seattle on the videotapes was just the total dominance of the line of scrimmage by the Cleveland offensive line. They've very quietly put together a great offensive line here.
And they're together now for another year. It looks like they really know the little nuances of playing offensive line.
They complement each other up there.
1st and 10 now. 7:22 left before halftime. Sight back to throw. Oh, he has a lot of time. Dumps it to Pruitt, the fullback, to the 24-yard line of Philadelphia.
Tommy mentioned that he had a lot of time. Here's why. Watch 73 and 68. A little stunt right there. They picked it up. That's Robinson coming in. He was picked up by the guard Jackson. Like I said, they've been together for a long time, and it's important, just like it is on defense, for them to play together.
In his 5th year, Sam Rutigliano, one of the great guys I would imagine to play for. He is a wonderful human being, other than being a heck of a good football coach. The playoffs in 80, and he thinks he's going back in 82. Pruitt in motion, takes it on the toss, one side. Oh, he's hit hard by Al Chesley.
Well, those 2 guys over there, Deacon and Robert Jackson, again with great blocks. That time Jackson on the pull.
You could hear some thumping the pads all the way up here. That's
some very intense game out there now as far as the hitting is concerned.
This is real grass. The infield is still there. The Indians are alive and still playing baseball. But it's a great old football park. There's been some great people play in this stadium over the years. Otto Graham, Marion Motley, Jimmy Brown. Quick drop. Wow, going away from the ball, number 86. That's Danny Fulton, the speed merchant. Didn't look like he wanted to catch that.
He might have been picking over the middle. There's Jackson and Doug Deacon right there now. They'll be double teaming on this particular block. That was Greg Brown they were working on. I'm just going to wonder where those guys are coming from. They keep doing that all day.
That'll sure slow down a pass rush. 3rd down and 6, the ball on the 21. Browns have kept that ball a lot in the second period. The Eagles fail to score from the 1. Offside by the Eagles. Saxton is in the field, overthrowing Fulton. Far corner of the end zone. I'll make that Ozzie Newsome that was overthrown. Roynell Young was trailing it. Looked like the Eagles jumped.
Yeah, I did it. And I think that Brian Saab knew he had a free one because they were offsides. Lofted it up there, hoping that Newsome could outfight somebody for the ball.
Offside, number 68 defense, illegal motion, number 25 offense.
Eddie Harrison, second time he's been offside. Imagine a tight end that's like Kellen Winslow that you can make as your outside receiver the way Newsome is for Cleveland, huh? There's the Swamp Fox, Marion Campbell, the defensive coordinator, really the head coach of the defense. He's probably calling for some fur flying, and I think he might send somebody.
You know, this is where it all starts right there, of course, with him calling the signal. Those guys on the field got to believe in that signal when it comes in, and they do believe in that man.
3rd down and 6. 7-3 Cleveland lead. Here's the blitz. It's handled by Cleveland with some time. Oh, a great play in the end zone by Roynell Young.
Tommy, you may have been in their defensive meeting yesterday, the way you keep calling these blitzes. For a team that doesn't blitz much, the Eagles did it again that time. That means that they got to play man for man or single coverage in the defensive secondary. Roynell Young had it all the way. And I'll tell you, he got turned around right at the last to make a pretty good play in the end zone. That was close to 6 points.
Teacher had it once and then momentarily lost it when Roynell got a hand in there. Matt Barr now, who's 0 for 3 this year. Young man that used to be at Penn State and San Francisco and Pittsburgh, but he's really liked here. The Eagles say it's no good. He's checking it out. He was wide left last week against Seattle.
He missed 4 in a row now, and he was perfect from that distance last year. 8 for 8 inside the 30. He gets a pretty good set right here by his holder, and there's no pressure. And he's just having a problem right now. That's his 4th miss in a row. And watch his reaction. That's total disgust. I've been there before.
Is it harder off the real grass?
It's tougher. You don't get it set up as high as you do off artificial turf.
1st and 10 on the 21. A screen pass to the left to Harold Carmichael. The large one gets his first reception, gets to the 28-yard line. He can fall forward for 8.
You're going to see that play every time I've seen the Eagles play since Harold Carmichael's been here. I think that they run that play once a half, I believe. That's been a very successful play for the Eagles.
Of course, he once caught a ball in every game for 127 consecutive games.
And made perhaps his most spectacular catch last week in the end zone against the Redskins.
Incredible. Looked like he could play for the 76ers and Billy Cunningham with El Spico. Here's the throwback on 2nd and 4. Wilbert Montgomery gets inside. Good linebacking play. And Wilbert gets to almost the 30-yard line, and that's all. Banks and Cousineau again. How much money did Cousineau sign for? What was the reported figure?
3.5 right there.
Million?
I have to wait a while and see if he's worth it. Watch this pull by number 76, Sizemore, the right tackle. He's just right in the right corner of your screen now. You're going to see him bury a cornerback right here. Ricky, you had to come up there. Sizemore weighs 270. He's got a 100-pound advantage right there.
Cousineau, $3.4 million. I wonder if he's on the goal standard. 2nd down. They got 3rd down and 2 with a shotgun. Jaworski quickly. Ron Smith makes a great catch at the 44-yard line. Ronnie Smith, formerly of San Diego State, jumped right over Dixon to catch it.
Jaworski loves Smith. He says that he gives this Eagles offense a dimension they haven't had in the last 3 years, and that's blazing speed.
Wow. 5:04. 5:02. The clock is running here at Cleveland Stadium. It's refurbished. It's a great ball yard. Man, it's sold out. A lot of tickets, a lot of people here. 7-3 Cleveland lead. Remaining back. That's Harrington on the draw play. Oh, he smothers the line of scrimmage. Ambrose and Bradley. Let's go to Brent Musburger in New York City. Man in motion is Carmichael. Harrington's out of the backfield. Jaworski has time, goes to his secondary receiver, Spagnola. Spagnola running very well for a big guy, gets to the 44-yard line. Boy, Spag put a spin on there.
Yes, he has. He had a fine game last week, as we mentioned earlier.
Now, what did Jaworski do that time? Look for one formation. When he read it, he went right back away from it?
He come right out and look for the safety on the side of the field they want to work the pattern to. And that's the Sid Gilman theory. You don't have to spend a whole lot of time reading defenses. You just find the key people out there, and then when you do locate him, whatever he does, then you have 2 or 3 options off that with your receivers, and they got to be reading the same guy as they're running their routes.
Sounds fair to me. 3:57 left. Slot right, that's Harold Carmichael. Lone remaining back is Harrington. Jaworski going on his slant to Robert Montgomery, who catches it at the 26-yard line. He was closely covered. That was just a great grab.
That's just a marvelous throw, too. Yep. One thing about Montgomery, he runs so easy when he's out there. He just flows and strides. And the defensive backs aren't used to seeing him out there wide, and they just can't believe that he gets up on them so fast because he's not working hard when he runs. He's kind of a floater, but he is going down there burning speed. Look at this throw and a catch right there. That's perfect. You cannot defense against that.
He runs right up on your shoes. He makes that defensive back give way. There's Wilbur. He caught 49 last year and 50 the year before. First down. Eagles driving out. Cleveland 26. Harrington gets a good block. Ambrose can't get him. Harrington inside the 20. Clarence Scott making the tackle.
Well, Chip Banks, a great aggressive left linebacker over there, but he's having a little problem right now with this Philadelphia offense, Tommy. He's in a lot of situations. Watch him here. He's getting too much penetration. He's just a little bit too aggressive. Watch him get deep now here and open up the lane. See, he's a little bit too deep in there. He just got to come across the line as a outside linebacker and look inside and close it down that way. He took 3 steps in there and created a natural alley.
And especially in the 34, it really is a team defense. There he is.
Yeah, he'll learn that. He'll learn that.
Second down. Call it a foot. Montgomery got the first at the 15. Cousineau there.
Banks is pretty smart. We talked about, I want to get back on that point. That's something that he's going to learn. He had 160 scholarship offers when he was in high school. Did not get one from USC. He wrote a letter to John Robinson and said, hey, I want to come out there where their palm trees are.
Robinson probably said, boy, there's some kooky kid that wrote me a letter until he saw him, right? One of the great players. Amazed me in watching the films is how much the Cleveland 34 defense looks like the Eagle 34 defense. Might be an advantage for Philadelphia a little bit.
I don't think there's any question that it is. Jaworski's looking over there in passing situations at the same defense he looks at during the week.
Brian Seif has checked in with Retigliano and actually calls his own plays with some help.
One of the few quarterbacks in the league now, and Retigliano believes in that system. He said the only one that Brian hasn't called in the last 3 years was that last minute interception against the Raiders 2 years ago. Sam says, I'll take credit for that one. That's the kind of guy he is. That's why the players like him.
And Seif, a very intelligent QB, a very cerebral type player, they say. All right, Eagles now. Big opportunity 2 minutes before halftime. A 1st and 10 on the Browns 15. A 2 tight end offense. Wilbert Montgomery, the only back, running back. Spagnola drops off into the slot. The 3-step drop. Oh, intercepted. Intercepted at the 9-yard line by the Cleveland Brown. A diving player came through from the left corner. It's Lawrence Johnson making a big INT.
Lawrence Johnson has been much maligned here in Cleveland. As I mentioned, 3 years ago he was drafted. Getting a start today because Ron Bolton is injured. Watch Jaworski send Vito Cab out to his area to the right, hoping to influence him, number 84. But Johnson didn't bite with the tight end running the slant. He stayed right with the ball, came up with his 2nd interception of the year. He's off to a sensational start. He's 9 of 15 now for 101 yards with that 1 interception. I know he'd like to have that one back, but you got to give the defense credit every once in a while. That was a good defensive play.
And now the responsibility of moving the football for the next 155 goes to Brian Seif for the Cleveland offense. Inside to Charlie White. Nothing doing. Remember, the Eagle defense a year ago was #1 in yards allowed and, more importantly, in points allowed. And Marion Campbell said, we do what we do best. We're not going to do anything different, just do it better. At halftime, the NFL Today, the fearsome foursome, led by Brendan Irv with scores and highlights from New York.
We thought that we had the first fearsome foursome in Detroit with Alex Karras and Roger Brown and Darius McCord and Sam Williams. But
well, they were nice guys.
Yeah.
Great pinochle players. Mike Pruitt is down, the fullback. The 1,000-yard rusher and a very important part of Rutigliano's offense. We'll check with you and let you know how Mike's doing. 1:38 left. It's 7-3 Cleveland. #1 draft in 75, Mike Pruitt out of Purdue. He was helped off a little bit of a leg injury of some sort. Cleo Miller is in at fullback. Halftime won't be that long, and Pruitt will get the best possible medical advice about the second half. Second down, 9. Side getting a lot of time. Quick out to Newsom. Newsom breaks away from Logan's tackle and then is stopped by Jerry Robinson.
Did I tell you something about Newsom's athletic ability? He can do the same things that Kellen Winslow does for San Diego. People say that you really kind of have to count Kellen Winslow as a wide receiver, and if you do, that man right there, number 82, is the best tight end in the league.
And there are some good tight ends around. 1:12 left. Sight back to throw. Sight with his hurry up now. Hits Charlie White in the left flat. That's pretty good pass protection by the offensive line. Okay, we'll be back. A little over a minute left in the first half. The 7-3 lead. You're looking at Mike Pruitt. Checking the left wheel of Mike Pruitt, a very underrated offensive football player. This guy has been nothing but steady and running over people and through people since he's been here since 75. Here we are, 1:07 left, second down and 5 for Cy from the Cleveland Browns. High formation. Fake to White. Cy going for it all. Going for a feature up the sideline. Intercepted by Roynell Young. Intercepted by number 43, a #1 draft a couple of years ago for Philadelphia.
A blitz again that time, Tom, by the Eagles, who surprising everybody, and I know they're surprising Cleveland by showing it so much. As we mentioned, when you do blitz, that puts you in man-to-man coverage, and Roynell Brown, the quiet, unassuming guy who plays that left corner over there as good as anybody in the National Football League, step for step right here with Ricky Feature, and he's the speed guy of the Browns. Look at this as a veteran, turn around there, get his head and eyes on the ball, play it up at its highest part as it comes down. You could make a textbook film out of that play right there by the cornerback Young.
And of course, the Eagles now are a pretty good hurry-up team. A week ago, they moved for a touchdown in the fourth quarter against Washington, a little over a minute. They've got 58 seconds. First and 10 on the Philadelphia 28. Shotgun. Morris a snap. Jaworski with a lot of time. Now he's being chased. Now he's being tackled. But he had a lot of time. Mike Robinson, Arizonian.
Credit that downfield because it was good coverage in the secondary. But remember we said at the top of the show that this Cleveland defense, especially those young guys up front, although they're not great pure pass rushers, just don't give up. They'll bump and bump and bump and get knocked around and then just keep coming as they swarm around the quarterback. Rutigliano said like a bunch of bees.
And a careful play by Jaworski, who does not want to throw it up for grabs. 30 seconds left before half. Shotgun on second and 14. A good throw to Smith at the 42-yard line. Now he's untangling to call timeout. Timeout for the Eagles. They burned one. Good looking throw, and Smith really has some speed.
The impressive thing about that play right there, I thought, was the way that Jaworski hung in the huddle as they see him walking to the sideline. Cleveland had a stun on up front. When they get in that situation, that nickel situation, that they do so much stunning.
By that you mean twisting and
twisting with the two tackles and in a game with a tackle and end. Now, the Eagles charted him for 3 games before this one, and Jaworski said that of their line stunts, they showed 24 different line stunts in 3 games on passing downs, and that gives the offensive line a whole lot to think about.
And you got to do zone blocking. You got to stay home and wait for them to decide where they're going to be. Huh?
Yeah, they zone block, so you don't get picked off chasing the guy. If he does go out, you don't have to slide out. You just stay and wait for somebody to come to you.
Over the shoulder there, without the uniform on, is Dante Pastorini behind Dick Vermeil to the right of him. He's the taxi squad quarterback. It's just along for the ride. Pittsburgh on top of Cincinnati. That's the same score we had in the first quarter. Of course, next Sunday, the Rams against the Eagles in Philadelphia. The New York Giants against Pittsburgh. Like playoff games, those two, for next week.
Well, I would think so. And don't forget our doubleheader game after this one will be the Denver Broncos and the San Francisco 49ers, Mile High Stadium in Denver.
Curly Morton out there, right? The quarterback. He's older than his own coach.
Older than his coach.
I always wanted that situation.
I'll tell you, it's tough being old and playing. I was 36 my last year, and in training camp and had to be in curfew every 9/11. My kids were staying up later than I was.
Our problem was we aged coaches so fast, sometimes it was hard to keep up with them. 1st and 10, the ball on the 42-yard line. Shotgun. Canfield is in the game. Coming across under the formation to Smith. Smith goes down in Cleveland territory. Number 20 makes the quick tackle, Judson Flint. Looks like they cleared out everybody and just brought Smith underneath, huh?
Look at that stunning that we talked about up front that Cleveland will show you. Watch the offensive line now. See that twist in the middle by the two tackles? And the Philadelphia offensive line, those middle men, hung right in there and picked it up.
Ron Smith with that 4.4 speed, and he gets it right now. He's got good hands. In fact, he might have the best hands on the ball club. Not the largest. Harold Carmichael obviously will always hold that record. Vermeil, though, he's much more well modulated, I guess I can say, on the sidelines. He's not, the team is very confident, it looks like, over there. No more timeouts left for the Eagles now. They've burned them all. Numbers on Ron. Don't forget at halftime, Britt Musburger and Irv Cross, our old Eagle and Ram cornerback back in New York with all the scores and highlights.
Got 14 seconds left in this one, and of course they were just over there talking. You'd think that they might try to get the ball downfield a little bit more on this throw.
One more pass, and then you'll try to take the 3 points.
And they might do it down the middle because of that double-double situation that Cleveland likes to work with the outside guy.
Never, no more timeouts left. They got to get somewhere out of bounds. Shotgun, low snap, but Jaworski handles it. Bean rush. Now he has a lot of time. Look out, going for Carmichael, who has it at the 35-yard line. Great play by Ron Jaworski. Now the hurry up. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. They can't call timeout. It's over. And Cleveland wins the Battle of the Mines. 7-3. Philadelphia trailing Cleveland. We got 30 minutes more. You missed that first half. Cleveland scored on the first possession. Touchdown, Ozzie Newsome from sight. Eagles came back, did not get a touchdown on their drive coming back up the field, and Jaworski was stopped actually at the goal line. Tremendous good play on both sides. The stats show you how close it really is. Wayne Walker?
No question about it. That goal line stand that the Cleveland Browns defense made, stopping Jaworski on the last down on bootleg play, is the difference in this ball game. Well, the time of possession right there even. I think both teams just going to make minor adjustments, Tom, because it seems like they have good game plans. It's just a matter of who's going to get after each other the most, I think, the second half.
All right, on our continuing effort to bring the greatest in pro football to people at home, we're going on what we call Hidden Secrets of the NFL. And our first hidden secret is, how do referees keep track of downs?
You know, not too many people know this. Now,
how do they?
When I was playing, before I'd tape my hands, so I'd have to watch Alex Karras count on his toes, but that's first down, that's second. The referee's doing this. That's third. And that's fourth.
That's the doubled up fist, and hope the rubber band doesn't break.
Thank goodness he's out there. Nobody would know. Freddie
Wyatt was our referee that did that, and every week we will continue this charming little episode called The Hidden Secrets of the NFL. That's right, it is, isn't it? All the computers and everything else we have, and here we are in Cleveland on a real grass field. Two good football teams. Two great coaches, Sam Rutigliano, as you see now, and of course Dick Vermeil, who have really different philosophies in how they arrive at being successful coaches. This guy sort of runs a looser, happy ship, but he admires Vermeil very much for what he's done with the program in Philadelphia.
He says he has a ton of respect for Dick Vermeil. And I'm sure that the feeling is mutual. Some concern now, and we haven't got word yet on the health of Mike Pruitt, the running back for the Cleveland Browns.
Tell you, you're looking at Dick Vermeil, and nobody has ever taken a program, and it was in shambles in Philadelphia. He had no draft choices, a tough schedule, and just about nothing going. And he got a great coaching staff and turned it around and took them to the Super Bowl in '80, perhaps too early for that caliber competition. Some great coach. Look at this under Dick Vermeil. 4-10, 5-9, 9-7, then 11-5, 12-4, and 10-6. A lot of playoff checks, and that'll give you solidarity. Steve Cox will kick off. He is the punter that also kicks off. Matt Barr doesn't kick it quite that deep. You'll have Mel Hoover, number 85, and Wally Henry, number 89, waiting for it. That's going to be some half, folks. That's Hoover to the left, Henry to the right. We're ready. It's a beautiful day in Cleveland. Oh, a tremendous kick by Cox. 9 yards deep, Wally Henry touches it down.
Put that in the back of the end zone. Retigliano said that he was going to be a lifesaver for the special teams guy this year because he kicked so many into the end zone. He'll be very popular if he keeps doing that with those guys going down under those kickoffs.
The closing seconds of the first half saw Carmichael catch one at about the 35-yard line of Cleveland, but they had burned all the timeouts. There's Cox. Was Jaworski in or was he out? The referee said no.
Once again, it's a great play on a bootleg by the Cleveland defense. Hanford Dixon stays at home, makes the hit. Clarence Scott, and then Cousineau comes over and cleans up.
Great play on both sides of the line. 4th and goal that was. Here it is on first down. Harrington from the 20 gets to the 26-yard line. Perry Harrington. Clarence Scott tripping him up there.
Good job over there that time, excuse me, Tommy, by Steve Kinney, the left guard. Stan Walter to tackle over on the left side. Walter's had some problems last week, and they told him that they're going to have to get a little bit better tackle play than they've had recently, and I think he'll respond. He's a veteran, and he'll do a good job for him.
Sizemore, Walters at the tackles, Baker, Kinney at the guards, Guy Morris at the opposite center spot. Second down call. Harrington running left again. Gets to maybe the 30-yard line. It'll be close to a first. It doesn't look like he made it. Ambrose bringing him down there.
Pretty much the same play as before. We just got word about Mike Pruitt, the fine fullback of the Cleveland Browns. Bruised knee, may return.
We were just talking to Arthur Modell, and in 4 years he had never missed a game, and the owner of the Browns said that he doesn't remember him ever being hurt either, and that's good news about Pruitt.
Dick Ambrose there, the veteran linebacker for the Cleveland Browns. He's looking at the sideline for the defensive signals. He'll call him while he's in there. He goes out on the passing situation, and that leaves Tom Cousineau in there, who's basically a rookie. Cousineau then has to make the calls, and that could be somewhat confusing for the Browns. Cousineau has worked very hard this week, extra time studying films, learning the Philadelphia offense. Before this ball game, he was sitting down in the field with headsets, about 2 hours before the ball game, playing a tape. He had a Walkman on with the defensive game plan being played to him on tape.
And he's a hometown boy.
That's cramming.
Hometown millionaire, too. First down, they move the sticks. Jaworski got a 3-step drop, going up for Smith. Smith jumps over the linebacker, but can't hang on to it. Cornerback Dixon was there.
I'll tell you, Tommy, something about that Dixon. He's a #1 choice that plays like a #1. He paid his dues last year over at that right corner, as any rookie will do, this side of Ronnie Lott. But he's a fine one, and he's made 2 or 3 big plays today.
You've got to have great speed. You've still got to be able to tackle on the screens and all. And to play corner these days, you've got to be a real outstanding personality.
Yeah, they said he's got a good temperament for it. He's kind of cocky, and he'll talk to those guys out there, too.
Second down and 10. Good play by the cornerback. Slot right. That's Harold Carmichael to the right side in the slot. Dropped over to Harrington on the screen. Gets a block from Guy Morris. Nailed at the 34-yard line, head-to-head. Eddie Johnson.
Little Eddie Johnson, that inside linebacker that comes in with Cousineau, plays alongside Cousineau in the passing situations.
What they call him, the Georgia Assassin, didn't they?
Yes, he is 6'1", 210. He was projected as a free safety when he was in college. They didn't think he'd be big enough to play linebacker up here, and he has safety speed. He runs 4.6. Watch him come in and make the hit here on the cutback.
Oh, boy.
Ooh.
He likes to hit. Big play for the Eagles early in this third period. 3rd down and 6. Ball's on the 34-yard line. 4-down lineman. Good blocking. Canfield catches it, but doesn't get the first down yardage. They picked up a couple of yards. Burrow made the tackle.
Number 49, Clinton Burrell, heads up play for strong safety. He was their free safety last year. Clarence Scott was a strong safety. They just swapped positions this year, and Retigliano said they should have done it way before this because Clarence Scott has turned into a natural at free safety.
This is not a good time to fake any punting situation, so Maxie Runniger will probably punt the football. It's his first punt of the day. Both offenses have roared, but not scored. Here's Runniger. Oh, this is a low liner. This is Dwight Walker, number 42 at the 18. Spins and is finally tackled there. It's Richard Blackmore down quickly under the punt. Good special team coverage. It's 7-3 Cleveland with 11:46 left in the third. USC tailback story. This is after Frank Gifford, of course, but you can see some pretty fair country tailbacks that come out of there, including the man on the field right now, Charlie White.
Charlie White, you kind of wonder now with Mike Pruitt out of the ball game, will we see more I formation? Will we see Charlie White featured more? Just 3 times carried the ball in the first half.
Right now we've got Cleo Miller in there as Pruitt is trying to get his knee worked on it to where he can play. Going to the outside to feature. Sight the 25-yard line. Herm Edwards there. Sight calls his own plays. Very confident. Good business head. Does some commercial work. Pretty good on the 2, didn't he?
Yes, he is. He does a good job on those commercials.
What does he do?
A little bit more of a free spirit than people give him credit for. He looks very conservative and conventional, but he's a Southern California guy and likes to surf.
What do you mean by that?
You can be California laid back,
right? I got you. All right. 2nd down and 3. On the 24. That's Logan in motion. Inside handoff to Charlie White. Ooh, he's got it. As we said, he always goes forward. Bree Wilson takes him head on.
Crookie, he's got tremendous strength for a guy his size. They've got him listed in the program at about 183 pounds, but he's basically about 190, 192. They measured him for body fat, and he has 2% body fat. I mean, that has got to be the lowest in the National Football League without a doubt. Huh? He is a rock. He is a rock. You've got more on your wrist than 2%.
And he's also a good blocker. A very tough little blocker. Here's Sipe getting a rollout to make it. He's got some time. Sipe throwing the ball outside the feature who may have held on, but they're going to say he didn't have the ball under control. Sipe went over. The quarterback always goes over and lets the official know that he was absolutely wrong.
There it is right here. Let's take a look. Feature at the sideline right in front of the Philadelphia Eagle bench. You couldn't see from that angle if he had control or not as he fell out.
Oh, the Eagle bench said no way, right? 10:56 left in the third period. No score so far since halftime. 7-3. Side straight drop. 3 steps. Going all the way for it. Larnell Young right there. Feature trying to run a 9. Just streaking.
Pretty good pressure that time from the Eagles. Big Dennis Harrison from the left side and LeMaster again on a blitz. But Brian Sipe will hang in there in the pocket as well as any quarterback in the National Football League. Retigliano says he has as much as you see LeMaster going off. Retigliano says that Sipe has as much courage and will hold on to the ball and concentrate better in the pocket than any quarterback he's seen since Joe Namath.
Wow. From the very top, quite a compliment. There's Charlie White coming out. Got his personal life straightened out, and the football life he's on right now is really in a fast lane. He's going to be a heck of a player this year for Cleveland. 3rd down and 10. Cleveland in their own territory. I guess the 4-man rush. Let's see how they handle it. A little pressure. Side moves, gets it off. Good throw and catch by Feature. Side really moved beautifully.
Yeah, see, that points out just what we were saying. He'll stay back in that pocket, and even though he's got pressure all around him, he doesn't lose his concentration. A lot of quarterbacks will get back there and feel that pressure and then start looking around a little bit. He never comes off downfield where his receivers are. Watch him right here. Carl Harrison's back in there. Look at people coming, arms up, and he just never loses his concentration.
Also proves you don't have to have the strongest arm in the league to be one of the best quarterbacks, right? Ricky Feature, the numbers on the young man. His third year now is the starter. Logan in motion, reverse motion. Charlie White's back in there. The outside throw for Feature. Wow. Edwards let him have the short out.
Well, we've seen that pattern now about 3 or 4 times there in the second half, so obviously that's an offensive adjustment that was made by the Cleveland Browns. Somebody upstairs saw something they thought they could work on, and they've been going to those short outs, featuring Sipe to Feature.
Ten of 19 for 110. The touchdown pass to Ozzie Newsome, who just came back into the lineup. Number 82 is Mr. Dangerous. He's a desperado. White, Cleo Miller in the eye. Here's the rise. Play action passing. Sipe moving to his left. Hits Cleo Miller at the 40-yard line. Good tackle by Robinson, but it's complete. Looks like a first down.
The Browns coaching staff says that Cleo Miller, who's in there right now for Mike Pruitt, is perhaps maybe the best pinch hitter in the National Football League. He's the kind of guy that doesn't get much work, and Retigliano said you send him in the bottom of the ninth, and he's pretty sure to come through for you. Number 30, Cleo Miller.
From Arkansas A&M. He used to be a starter. But Pruitt, by the way, is trying to get his knee together. He is not seriously injured. We may see him back in there. Right now it's number 30. 10, Sipe. Three-step drop, trying to pump it. Now goes in the flat to Charlie White, who's tackled immediately by John Bunning. Looks like Sipe has a streak going.
He does. Tommy, did you notice that that sleeve that he's wearing on his right elbow? I saw him wearing it in the film we looked at last week's game in Seattle, and I thought it was because of AstroTurf, but it just looks like it's kind of a rubber sleeve off a wetsuit type, and maybe he has tendonitis or something in his elbow and just use that to keep it warm. I've never seen one of those before.
Looks like part of an old inner tube or something, doesn't it? No, not these days. That's got to be an expensive piece of machinery there. It's second down and 7. Browns have moved the ball makes the draw. Being chased. Denny Harrison runs Sipe out. Now Carl Harrison after him. And thrown away. Intended for Logan. Defense by Rornell Young. As you can tell, the crowd loved that.
Well, they wanted a interference call on number 43, Roy Nell Young, on Dave Logan, but they're not going to get it. Good coverage downfield right here. Now, Sipe gets pretty good protection at first. Looks downfield. Nobody's open, and he's got to get out of there. Watch his head and eyes. Look at him waving people around. Never loses his concentration downfield. Throws this one for Logan. Number 43, Young, right there with him. May have been a little bump in there, but you got to do that a little. They got to give you a couple of those.
Great coverage. 7-3. Cleveland leading. Here it is on third down. Sipe. Oh, through the hands of Dwight Walker. In and out.
Walker, a specialty player that they put in passing situations. They think he's like a young Greg Pruitt. He's got great hands. They didn't show it right there.
Steve Cox will come in. They're going to try to punt. This is beyond Barr's range as a field goal kicker, even though he's a very good one from the 35 in. Cox will be standing in Cleveland territory and trying to go to the corner. He's only kicked twice against Seattle, so he'll kick away from Wally Henry. There's that low drop. He's trying to angle for the corner. It's going to be close. Let's see.
Oh, that could be a beauty.
Oh, they're going to call. He's walking back. The official says try the 4.5-yard line, 4-yard line. What a kick. Cox's kick has nailed the Eagles deep in their own territory. It's still 7-3 Cleveland.
Number 23, Mark Kafensis. He's a rookie safety for the Browns. Watch him here. He was voted Special Team Player of the Week last week against Seattle. He had a good game.
Robinson.
You think the Eagles didn't look at the film and know that he's a good Special Teams player, so they're going to pay him a little extra attention today. Now, that is a nice massage. Welcome up here, huh?
All the way from Hawaii to the mainland to get treated like that. There he is, though. He made the Cleveland Browns as a rookie. 1st and 10. The ball is on the 4. What a punt. High formation help to Wilbert Montgomery. Wilbert very quickly gets to the 14-yard line. Cousineau making the tackle, and none too soon.
Sizemore and Baker, the right guard over there. Giant hole that time for Montgomery. Let's take a look at it. Montgomery running out of the eye right here. Number 63, Baker with a block. Look at Sizemore has his man turned out. And Wilbert isn't touched until he's downfield about 7-8 yards.
He really accelerates. He loves to run from the tailback spot in the eye. That's Lawrence Johnson on the ground, the young cornerback, being attended to. Right now, the Eagles, well, they just got a 1st down. Right now, they got Judson Flint in on the left corner. Johnson is all right, but on the sideline. 1st and 10 burst by Wilbert Montgomery on 1st down. Here's Wilbert again, cutting back against the grain. Nailed at the 17-yard line by Chip Banks.
Banks a strong play that time. Just stepped down, and as it was bounced out, he was right there to meet it. Judson Flint is in at left cornerback for Lawrence Johnson. And one play, Johnson was shook up, making a tackle the time before against Montgomery, and so he's back in there now.
There's Becker, the backfield coach, making some signals on the Eagle side of the field. And now Johnson is back in there, number 48.
Nickel defense here for the Browns.
2nd down and call it a long 6. 4 down linemen coming. Here's the stunt by the Browns. Dumping it off, being caught. Cousineau makes the tackle, and Harrington made the catch. It'll be short of the 1st.
Well, we told you that Tom Cousineau, double responsibility today. He's got to make the calls out there in the nickel situation. Right here at his middle linebacker spot. He's in there with Eddie Johnson at the other linebacker. Harrington ran a little circle pattern. A good drop right there, keeping his head and eyes in the backfield. Gets there same time the ball does. That's the way you got to play it.
It's going to be 3rd and short. A good, safe tackle by Cousineau. Leroy Harris, the blocker, is in the eye, the fullback in the eye. And it goes to Wilbert, who does not get there. Chip Banks with some help from Cousineau and also Henry Bradley.
Well, somebody with good penetration got low, and then Chip Banks came over the top and really cleaned up. Let's see if it was Bradley, number 91. Take a look here. Designed to go left. Wilbert will see it's plugged up there. Slide right. Bradley's down low. Look at the lick by Banks up on top.
Here's the punt by Max Runiger. This is a good one. This must be a 4-6 hang time. Taken by Dwight Walker and drilled at the 39-yard line. That's Richard Blackboard down to make another tackle on the special teams. Man, it's picked up. 42-yard punt. No return. 5:15 left in the 3rd quarter. It's still 7-3. Don't forget, immediately following this game, 2 teams that have been in the Super Bowl recently. Denver in Super Bowl 12 and San Francisco just this Super Bowl.
Well, Tom, I'm living out there in San Francisco right now, and I'll tell you, if the 49ers win this game, they might have to do it on defense. They're in bad shape offensively. Offensive line and running back situation, they've got problems.
Okay, we're going to be watching that here on CBS. It's doubleheader day on CBS. We've got a good one here. The offensive line for Cleveland has not allowed a sack of sight by the Eagle defense. Ball is almost touching the 40. Here's Cleo Miller's first carry. Line of scrimmage, and that's about it. Clark, the psychologist, making the tackle. Remember, we used to, in the old days, I remember we had a player that was reading a French book one time, and one of our old veterans thought he was a communist because he was even reading a book. Now you can be a psychologist or...
You had guys on that Eagle squad that didn't wear a face mask, though.
Oh.
Jesse Richardson, right?
They didn't have to. 2nd down and 9. Seif against the big rush. Oh, he's being knocked down, but he gets it off. Intended for Ozzie Newsom. And Sipe is on the deck. Kenny Clark knocked him down as he threw it. Sipe getting up a little unsteady there.
Well, one of the few times that the Eagles have been back there and getting that much pressure on Brian Sipe today. That may be the first time he's had to pick himself off the ground, even though that wasn't a quarterback sack.
Did they fire up the middle? Did they bring Chesley from the middle linebackers in there? I couldn't quite see on that.
Didn't see it myself. It was good penetration and good surge from somebody up the middle. Dennis Harrison came in from the left side, and he's 6'8". He gets back there and throws his arms up, and he can, like you said, he can fall for about 5 or 6 yards.
Last year they got sight on the Cleveland quarterbacks 40 times, but they've done a job today. 3rd down and 9. That's Logan in motion. Sight being chased out of the pocket. Now he's going to run with it, being chased by Carl Hairston. Sight gets out of bounds in Eagle territory and a 1st down run.
You know, the Eagles were a little worried about him because he's somewhat like Joe Theismann. You know, he's not going to run, and he's not as quick as Theismann, but they said they're afraid of him because he's a proven winner. Let's him get out of sight there. Now look at those blocks. Doing a fine job up front for him, even though he got chased out that time.
1st and 10 in Eagle territory. A 4-point lead. The opening drive, Sipe took him down for a touch. Handoff to Charlie White. Charlie inside the 45. Bunny and Carl Hairston making the tackle. San Diego State.
Sipe, you're looking at him right there.
Yep.
You bet, San Diego State. That's why he's a surfer. All-time leading Browns passer. It was a 13th round draft choice, as we mentioned. He spent 2 years on the taxi squad behind Mike Phipps before he got a chance to play.
Either hang glide or surf, or you're not even in the league out there, right? Off the cliffs at La Jolla. Here we go. It's 2nd down and 5. The slot right formation. This 3-step drop by Sipe to Ozzie Newsom to the 37-yard line. Logan touching him down. Short passing game working well for Cleveland.
That was a great touch that time by Sipe as he lofted it over the linebacker on the outside on the right side, Jerry Robinson.
78,830 showed up, but as Art Modell said, and he and Paul Warfield and Davis next to our booth, they had over 80,000 people purchase tickets here in Cleveland. That's great. New Orleans leading Chicago. Same score in the 3rd period.
St. Louis has come back to tie up Dallas 7-7.
Pat Tilley with a touchdown reception. 1st down. The quick drop, the slant. Woo, and Herman Edwards rising to the ground. Everybody's complaining except Edwards. Ricky Feature.
Picture perfect that time by Herman Edwards, who had a tough week last week.
Hello there. Cincinnati 10, Pittsburgh 10. Not yet into the 4th period. This division right here with Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati a little bit nasty too, huh?
People here in this market will see New York and Pittsburgh next Sunday.
2nd down and 10. The waggle to the right. Sipe has a lot of time. There's a flag down. It may be offensive holding, but Feature has the catch for what looks like a 1st down. Cornell Young is clapping. That means they're going to penalize Cleveland.
This has been such a well-played game, even though we've got a low score. One of the few penalties that's been called in this game.
2 offsides on the Eagles, and that's about it. And then this one. 7 officials. They do a real good job, but the players really sort of police themselves when you get down to it.
Holding, number 71 offense.
Big Matt Miller, who is in there at left tackle now for the Browns in place of Doug Deacon.
He's my Colorado Buffalo, that big fella.
They say he's the strongest guy on this team, and he got a great future.
If he holds you, he can tear your shirt off your back. Look at the size of that.
Well, if he's going to play left tackle for the Browns, Deacon will teach him how.
That great tradition, right? Tom Brookshire with Wayne Walker. in Cleveland Stadium. It's second down and a bunch. 20 to go. Straight drive by Cleo Miller. Oh! Cleo tackled inside the 30 by Bree Wilson.
Boy, just straight ahead blocking by the entire offensive line of the Cleveland Browns that time. And Miller, who is a solid, dependable guy without great speed, though, is very adept at picking the hole.
Probably caught Philadelphia thinking pass a little bit, huh? On second and 20. 2:12 in the third period. The Jets leading New England 17-7. The Patriots just did get on the board. The Los Angeles Raiders over Atlanta. What happened to the Atlanta defense? Third down and 10. All the way for Ozzie Newsome, who jumped, can't hang on to it. And Richard Blackmore was step for step with a tight end.
Brian Sipe did not look at another receiver on that play. He knew where he wanted to go when that ball was snapped. He went to his main man, and his real deep threat on this team, Ozzie Newsome, even though he's a tight end. And Blackmore, step for step with him, made a fine defensive play. Here it is. Now watch Brian Sipe. Newsome's on the right of your screen right over here running a streak. Sipe did not look anywhere else, and here it is. A battle right there.
Good play by Blackmore, too.
As good as you can make.
Here's Cox, who his last punt went out on the 4-yard line. He airmailed it. He may be trying for the right corner. No, he's going to go for the left again. He likes it over here, away from Wally Henry. And this one is going to... Oh, the 1-yard line. What a punt. What a punt. The Razorback did it again.
Well, we told you earlier that the coaching staff said he's going to be a lifesaver on special teams. He's been that today.
Let's see who's lucky. 1:45 left the third period. Inside run by Perry Harrington, number 35. Maybe a couple. 78,000 showed up today. And everybody now is beginning to sort of cheer. One big yell, a constant one.
The defense out there, rookie cranked up for Cleveland. Two guys especially cranked up. Cousineau, number 50, the inside linebacker. Michael Robinson, the right defensive end. Both of those guys went to high school here in Cleveland, making their first start in a game here in Cleveland Stadium. Something that they always wanted to do, they said, when they were growing up.
Boy, hear that chant? This town loves pro football. Here's Robert Montgomery hit hard. On the other side of the 5-yard line, Ambrose hitting him.
Number 52, Dickie Ambrose, the veteran. He's been around for 8 years. He has led this team in tackles 5 straight seasons, and he'll smoke you. He did that time.
Carmichael comes in. Camfield comes in.
Ambrose will be leaving because he comes out on the nickel defense.
And also Mike Quick comes in. So now we got nickel on one side and nickel offense on the other. Almost the end of the third period. Not much scoring, but boy, it's a good football game. Shotgun from the end zone. Across the middle. Oh, knocked away at the last minute by Lawrence Johnson, intended for Mike Quick.
Lawrence Johnson, we may be seeing him come of age today as a cornerback in the National Football League, Tom. When he was in college at Wisconsin, he was projected by the 3 scouting systems in the country that the NFL teams use as the #1 cornerback in the draft. He was a 9'4" sprinter. He had great size. The Browns took him. He's been a disappointment. He's been sensational here today.
What a stab with the left hand. The moment of truth. And Runniger is at the back part of the end zone at Cleveland Stadium. Around the mound, the baseball mound. White Walker's the return man. He's at the 40-yard line of Cleveland. Of Philadelphia. Here's Runniger. It's an average kick to the left side, bouncing at the 28-yard line. Takes a Cleveland bounce and drop down. The Browns had great field position.
Field position because of that great punt out of bounds on about 1.5 yards from the end zone by Steve Cox of the Browns. Gives the offense excellent field position. 7-3, the Browns lead it, and this crowd wants more right now.
Marion Campbell, Chuck Clausen, the Eagles, they're worried. Only 7 seconds left in the third. Don't forget tonight on CBS, 60 minutes.
Well,
7 brides for 7 brothers. Alice and Trapper John, M.D. Tonight on CBS.
I was getting excited. I wanted to talk right over 7 brides for 7 brothers.
That sounds fair to me. 7 and 7.
Eagles might have to take a chance here in blitz, trying to come up with a big play.
First down play on the 26th. Inside handoff. Cleo Miller dropped behind the line of scrimmage. Harrison making big penetration for Philadelphia. Oh, hang in there and get taped up. That's the end of the third quarter. It's Cleveland 7, Philadelphia 3. There have been some bitter battles between these two ball clubs since 1950, when the Cleveland Browns came out of the All-American Conference. Now Cleveland's in the AFC, and it's still the same. The last time the Eagles won here was 1960. And we got 15 minutes left, 7-3. Sipe on second down and 10. Concern on the coach's face for Philadelphia. Motion is Logan. Toss back to Charlie White. Charlie White gets touched back against the grain, gets maybe a yard and a half, and then is stacked up. Dennis Harrison. Pretty good field general, this fellow Sipe.
One of the best. He is superbly confident out there. I think it stemmed from a couple years ago when they were known as the Cardiac Kids. Everybody has faith in him. They know that he can get it done and get it done in the last few minutes if he has to, when the whole thing is on the line. And keep in mind that he calls his own plays out there in the huddle.
Last year he said that guys had too many off-the-field capers going to be serious about football. Maybe he was right. They look good this year. It's third down and 6. Everybody's out of the backfield. He's got time. Ozzie Newsome makes a catch inside the Eagle 10-yard line. What a catch. Ellis was hanging on.
They set that up with that streak that we looked at, that play we looked at in the last quarter right at the end, where Newsome just ran it up and Sipe tried to hit him long. It started out the same way this time. Newsome's running a streak, but he'll pull it up deep at about 15, 17 yards and make a turn. And Sipe threw it away from the defender, Ellis. A great throw.
Ellis in there. Johnny Shira used to come in. He's been injured. A great catch by Ozzie Newsome.
Newsome 6 catches now, Brookie, for 80 yards and 1 touchdown.
Bear Bryant said Newsome was the best he ever coached. Charlie White up and over inside the 5 to the 4. Kenny Clark making the tackle. The Eagle defense seemed to slump after that last catch by Newsome. It looks like they've shrugged their shoulders a little bit.
To suck it up now is the ball is what, about the 3-yard line? Maybe the 2, closer to the 2, perhaps.
What kind of surface is that?
Look at down there. That's right. The defensive line's going to have to play out of the warning track of baseball. It could be a little slippery down there for them.
High formation. Slot right. Charlie White in for a touchdown. The hands are up. The second touchdown for the new Charlie White. The second touchdown of 1982. He's going to have some year.
He'll take his offensive line out to dinner on that one. They really surged.
Matt Barr now trying for the 14th point for Cleveland. The first drive for 7-0 lead. And early here in the fourth period, they get another touchdown. A lot of time left, but that's a tough nail to get off of. 12:43 left in the fourth and final period. Oh, wait, there is a flag.
Encroachment, number 25 defense. Extra point is good. 5-yard penalty will be assessed on the succeeding kickoff.
5-yard penalty will be assessed against the Eagles, but Jerry Seaman was right. And so it's 14-3 with 12:43 left. Some fun, eh? Charlie White, you're having some start. Third year out of USC, and he's earning it.
Here's the touchdown, and they said that the reason he hasn't been good the previous 2 years is they didn't play him enough. He's the kind of guy that has to be in there all the time. Partigliano says he's not a hockey player. You can't send him over the boards every 3 or 4 minutes. He's got to be out there playing.
Cox will be kicking off from the 40-yard line. 5 yards against the Eagles. Hoover and Wally Henry. Main thing now is to keep possession of the football. This is going to be... That's Wally Henry at the 2-yard line. Wally Henry, just reactivated last week, gets out over the 32-yard line. Dixon making the tackle. Jaworski into the huddle. Don't forget, next Saturday here on CBS, NCAA football. Nebraska, 68-0 runaway over New Mexico State against Penn State and Joe Paterno's group. 3:30 Eastern Time on CBS. It's going to be some contest. Jaworski, quick drop outside. Robert Montgomery lassoed at the 37-yard line. Chip Banks is really strong.
You can't,
picked Wilbert up and threw him down, didn't he?
No, you can't look good unless they run at you, or you can't look good unless they throw at you on defense. And we mentioned earlier that perhaps they're picking on that young cornerback over there, Lawrence Johnson. He came up with a play again that time, but Wilbert picked up 7. They might stay there.
Second down and 3. Back to Perry Harrington. Harrington has the first down. The Eagles have a lot of time now, less than 12 minutes. But they're down 14-3, an odd score. Tough one to sort of figure out what you're going to try to do. First, you're getting a touchdown and get the 7 first. Then you'll worry about the late heroics to perhaps pull the game out.
You definitely got to get something on the board, and this is kind of crunch time for the Eagles this drive. They'll be in trouble if they don't get some points out of this one.
Smith and Carmichael to the bottom of the screen. First down and 10. Carmichael into the slot. Coming across. He's open. Carmichael has it at the 45-yard line. Now he gets away from 2 tackles and gets to the 36-yard line and fumbles. Chip Banks says Cleveland recovers. Lawrence Johnson.
That's pure hustle now by this defense. Jaworski with plenty of time. Carmichael across the middle, big target, makes it, breaks the tackle right here. Is going to pick up some more yardage. Number 56, Banks, keeps coming. Cousineau is there to slow him down. Banks punches the ball out from behind. It's loose right now. Johnson comes over and makes the play. Watch Banks right here come in and punch this ball out.
Caused a fumble a week ago against Seattle.
Seems like anything that happens good on this defensive team, that Chip Banks is involved in it. He's a big one.
He's a blue chipper. Errol Carmichael has been shut out only 3 times since 1971, and one of those times was by the Cleveland Browns in '72. He's a great receiver. Here's the toss. Back to Charlie White. Bunny cuts it back inside, and Dennis Harrison makes a big play on the pursuit. Big turnover. And now Sipe has to gobble up the clock, get something going that takes some time.
That's exactly what he's thinking about right now. They'll take a full amount of time in the huddle. They've got 30 seconds to get the ball off after the play. He'll use up most of that if they can. They'd like to stay on the ground, move the ball that way.
They protected Sipe, the offensive line. Charlie White and Cleo Miller in the backfield. Straight drop back. Sipe going outside. Oh, Charlie White is hung out the drive by Al Chesley.
Chesley, number 59, inside linebacker, big hit on Charles White that time.
Number 59 replaced Bill Berge, an all-timer. In that lineup is a very physical player. And as you saw that time, he really did a job on Charlie White.
He hits the sidelines now along with Bunning as the Eagles go into their nickel defense.
Dwight Walker comes in and Cleo Miller for the plus side. Cleveland Browns offensive unit. Third down and 7. Almost offside. Brown. Cleo Miller. A big fumble is broken out there, and they're going to give the Eagles the football as there was a lot of contact right in front of the Cleveland bench, and Green and White came up with it. Bernard Wilson must have come up with a recovery. I think number 22 got the ball.
We'll get a look right here now at what happened from the end zone up high. The toss to Cleo Miller. Sweep right, not a whole lot there. He was not going to pick up the first down. He was stopped a little short right here. Blackmore hit somebody from the side. He just didn't have it away. The ball is loose. It belongs to the Eagles.
Large turnover, recovered fumble. Cleo Miller fumbled it. I think Bree Wilson came up with it. How quickly do you go try to get the touchdown?
I think you got to try to get the ball downfield right away. They did last week. It was successful. It opens up the rest of it for them.
Smith is to the bottom of the screen. Carmichael to the top. Montgomery, the remaining back. Fake to Wilbert. Jaworski going for it. Ron Smith. Smith has it for a touchdown. Good call by Wayne Walker. Go get it right away, and the Eagles got it. Dixon just couldn't stay with Ronnie Smith, who is really a good athlete.
Ricky, that's the Sid Gilman influence on this football team. He knows that even though you got to pass an offense in there, that you're just not going to live and die with the short pass. He was the one last week against the Redskins at halftime, talked to Dick Vermeil and said, Dick, you got to go deep with the football. They came out in the third quarter, were very successful with it against the Redskins. I know this is his thinking right here. Play action pass, but that shouldn't have fooled one Cleveland Brown on 1st and 10 in this situation. But this is just a great throw, and Smith, as we said, an added dimension to the Philadelphia offense. He can get deep, and Jaworski loves to go to him.
First touchdown of the year for Ronnie Smith. Used to play at the Rams and in San Diego, and right now he's a Bird. Tony Franklin's extra point. Good as gold if you're a Philadelphia fan. With 10:09 left in the fourth period, guess what? We got a football game again. Cleveland 14, Philadelphia 10. Tony Franklin's worst kickoff against the Redskins was the last one in overtime. He's got to drive the ball deep. Our answer to Vermeil on the sidelines. Walker and Dino Hall back. It's a pretty good kick. Walker's 4 yards deep in the end zone. Walker up the right side. Jamona gets a hand on him, and now he's out of bounds and dumped. Richard Blackmore makes another tackle. Why didn't Dixon have some safety help on the inside on the post on this touchdown pass?
Well, you'd almost think he would, especially in that situation at this stage of the ball game. And I don't know what defense the Browns are in. They play a lot of double-double on the outside receivers. But boy, he was all alone, no inside help.
Must have been rolled up on Harold Carmichael's side.
May have been.
A great throw by Jaworski, who has kept his cool through the whole ball game, waiting for things to happen. First and 10. Ball's on the 22-yard line. Side, quick drop, outside. Newsom falling down. Herm Edwards right there. Pick up a 6. You got to let Ozzie Newsom have that.
Well, that's a pretty good call, too, though, by Brian Seif. They have the lead here, and you think that they might want to run some time off the clock before they get fancy, but he comes out and crosses them up a little by throwing on first down.
And Newsom's so strong, if you went up on a short sidelines, he could run over you on
Don't miss the tackle.
Eagle defense, the best in football for the last 5 years, being tested by Brian Seif. It's 14-10 in the fourth period. This is a good football game. Charlie White and Cleo Miller. It's Cleo Miller straight ahead. Doesn't have the first down. Gets over the 30. Bring up a very interesting third and short call. How good a drive blocking offensive line is this for the first down that they perhaps need right here, of course?
The Eagle players think that the Browns are good drive blocking, especially over on the left side behind either Matt Millen or Miller. or Doug Deacon, the offensive left tackle. And Robert Jackson, the big guy over there at guard.
He's not a good puller, but he's a great straight-ahead guard, isn't he?
DeLon Malure over on the right side is a real good one. They're pretty solid across.
I believe they got it. I believe Cleo Miller got it. Sorry. I must be becoming myopic in my old age. Pretty good run there. Sipe begins to clap his hands a little bit now. Check the clock. 9:31 left. It would be a big start for the Cleveland Browns to be 2-0. And, of course, Marion Campbell knows you don't want to start out in the NFC East 0-2. Big series for defense. Dwight Walker in the game for Cleveland. The blitz is on. A little rush, but Sipe gets it away and overthrows Walker at the 40-yard line. And Sipe is getting up again. Scores from other games.
Dallas 21-7 over St. Louis. Danny White to Preston Pearson, or rather Drew Pearson on the last score.
Wow, that's this division that Cleveland's in, right? The old central of the AFC. It's tough. 17-17. The L.A. Raiders laid it on Atlanta, and where has the defense gone? We will repeat that question.
Raiders are tough. Marcus Allen has helped them.
Kansas City putting San Diego away, perhaps, and Kansas City has good fourth-quarter defense, too. It's 2nd down 10. It's a sight. Oh, his arm is hit by Kenny Clark. The nose tackle made a real good rush and almost took the ball off.
Well, Sipe was angry, too, that his arm was hit because he thought he had someone wide open over the middle. Let's look at it. Number 71, Ken Clark, will apply the pressure. A nose tackle. He's a relentless guy that keeps coming at you. Sipe with what looks like good time right here, but look at Clark, who had slipped the block of the center, DeLeon. And there's a little contact there.
I'll tell you, Sipe is going to be very good in our business. I don't even know if he got hit that time, but he fell beautifully, didn't he? Like he's a stunt man. There are the numbers on Brian Sipe, 16 for 33. And a touchdown pass on the first drive to Ozzie Newsome. Logan hasn't caught a ball yet, number 85. Sipe going for feature, intercepted, almost intercepted by Ray Ellis. Sipe is breathing again. That was close.
Ray Ellis in there on the nickel defense this week. And he wants to have a good game here in Ohio. He played for the Buckeyes at Ohio State. He came a long way from free safety that time, made up a lot of ground while that ball was in the air.
The continuing saga of Steve Cox, the great punter. Now he's not trying for the corner. He's just trying to get it out and hang it. That's a good hang time. At the 25 is Wally Henry. Henry to the 32-yard line. Maintains control of the ball, and the Eagle offense comes on. And Cox has done his job. A 43-yard punt. 8:50 left. It's 14-10. This has been an old-fashioned football game. Nothing too fancy, too sophisticated. Just a lot of rocking and socking.
There hasn't been a lot of scoring, but there have been great individual efforts, big plays, and a lot of hitting out there.
First quarter touchdown by Cleveland, a fourth quarter touchdown by Cleveland. Then Jaworski came back and hit Smith with a touchdown pass, and suddenly the Birds are back in the game. This is a big series. A lot of time, what do you look for? To see who they will catch doubled up?
I think that's what Jaworski will be looking for. He'll want to use Smith and Carmichael, whichever one has the least amount of resistance against them.
And to see if the Cleveland defense will come with a rush or play it pretty straight. They're in the 34. The reverse to Wilbert Montgomery. Montgomery behind Baker's block. Montgomery over the 40 and goes up and over as Cousineau makes the tackle. A pickup of 9 yards, maybe more.
Here it is again. Now, you know the Cleveland defense is going to be hustling now. So they run a little reverse here. One guy stays home.
Looks like they caught Cowher, too.
Burrell, but he's got a guard on him. And then Cousineau had to come flying back to help out.
That's the first time I've ever seen the Eagles run that play. That is a new one. The Eagles are pulling out all the stops. 8:10 left. Fourth quarter. about a football. Misdirection play. Terry Harrington, he's got the first down. Now he's got a problem.
Ball carrier. The tackle made by Chip Banks.
Banks and Johnson making the tackle. Looked like he just looked for daylight then.
It wasn't so much a misdirection as he just took a counter step towards the left and then brought it back up. Could have run it anywhere along the line and bounced it out to pick it up.
How soon do you go upstairs with it? The Eagles still have 3 timeouts.
Well, this is, we saw before, for Sipe through on 1st and 10. It's a good down to throw on in this situation. Let's look for it now.
Carmichael is slotted to the top of the screen. Smith is by himself to the bottom. Here comes Carmichael. Jaworski straight back. He's got time. Now he's being rushed. Throws on the run and throws it away. Intended, I suppose, for the tallest target around. Sacked 6 times by the Washington Redskins and yet had a tremendous day throwing the football. Talking about Ron Jaworski. Signals are going in. We don't know who is the live one. That's Becker, the offensive backfield coach. Pasarchik, the other quarterback, is going through some papers. Looks like he's at the office. And Bednarik is just prowling the sideline, looking for somebody from Cleveland to hit.
Those are a lot of signals for one play.
The timeout picture. A slot left. Smith, Carmichael, same side. Big rush by Jaworski. Complete the pass to Carmichael in Cleveland territory. No good, they're calling it. Good coverage by Judson Flint.
Pretty good pressure, too, from Cleveland's defensive line. That time, Mike Robinson, outside rush against Stan Walters. Didn't get close, but you could see him back there. Jaworski could anyway. Good surge up the middle. Mark Boobin in there at nose tackle, relieving Henry Bradley. And Banks had some penetration.
And as you mentioned earlier, Wayne Walker, they did a twist, a stunt there, and the Eagles picked it up, but they did get pressure on.
All you need is a little penetration and then get your hands up, and it creates a problem for the quarterback.
Hear that crowd? 3rd down and 10. This is a good football crowd. They know how big this play is. Shotgun. The blitz is on. Jaworski calmly hits Wilbert Montgomery for a first down. Boy, what a throw by number 7.
Pretty strange blitz that time by the Cleveland Browns. They brought Eddie Johnson, the linebacker, in, and he was lined up almost in a walkaway position. I mean, between the offensive tackle and the split receiver on the right side. He was out about 20 yards and tried to time it coming in. He was a little late getting there. It was open. Had he started from a position more advantageous to him to blitz from.
Ron must have read that, Jaworski, and just took his time and said, I can get it off. A big first down. 6:22 left in this football game. It's 14-10. Jaworski with time, going for it all the way. There for Mike Quick. Lawrence Johnson there. Quick looked like he might have been open when that ball was let loose. That'll stretch the defense a little bit anyway, right?
You got to think about that. It's on 1st and 10. He was going for it all. Now Cleveland will counter with their nickel defense. 4 down linemen, 2 linebackers, 5 defensive backs. That's what Jaworski will be looking at. Keep in mind that we mentioned earlier that Jaworski plays against that defense in practice. That's basically the same defense that the Eagles use.
Don't forget, San Francisco, the champions against the Denver Broncos.
Both teams need a win. Denver was beaten by San Diego, San Francisco by the Raiders last week.
6:12. The Eagles still have 3 timeouts left. They've got to get 7. 3 won't do them any good. Jaworski, a lot of time. Overthrowing Quick again at the 25-yard line. No flag. Everybody checking to see if the yellow flag had come. Cousineau and Judson Flint in there. That'd be a pretty tall number 1 draft to get that catch. That was a little high. Pretty good pass blocking. Now, remember that sun comes right into your eyes if you're the quarterback looking right now. That sun sort of, you can see the shadows on the ground. Jaworski is going to be looking into a glare. There's the time. Nobody has left the stadium. There are almost 80,000 people here. This might be the biggest crowd to ever watch the Eagles play football. Third down 10. Jaworski being rushed. Carmichael makes a catch inside the 30. Burrell finally making the tackle. What a target number 17 is.
A great clutch throw again by Jaworski and a fine catch by Harold Carmichael. He was working against number 20 as he comes in motion, Judson Flint. Carmichael in motion right here. Starts it up now as the inside receiver there in that trio. He's the middle guy. It's a bump right there. Flint in good shape that throws a little bit behind him, and look at the adjustment Harold makes to make that catch.
Harold is very strong. He's not only 6'8", but he's about 225 pounds, and he's very strong. It's a first down. The Eagles on the Cleveland 28. Quick drop. Out the flat. Wilbert Montgomery drops the football.
Boy, Wilbert may have turned that into a huge play had he been able to hold on, because Lawrence Johnson, the cornerback over there, had slipped and was on the turf.
There's Vermeil, very calm. Coach knows he's got an uphill battle. He's got a lot of young players. He wondered about the intensity. He wondered if maybe the talk about strike had bothered his team's concentration, but they're playing it 4 quarters today.
Tommy, Chip Banks had 3 sacks last week against Seattle, rushing from the defensive end spot. Jerry Sizemore keeping him out of there today for Philadelphia.
Slot left with Carmichael there. Jaworski back being chased. Now he dumps it. Carmichael overthrown at the 15-yard line. Judson Flint was trailing Carmichael. Now Camfield is in the game. Number 37, a good target on third down.
Boy, there's a big battle going down there. We mentioned Banks and Sizemore over there on that side. Look at number 56 come. Got some help from Spagnola right there. Spagnola's stuck on him. A good job by the tight end. Banks keeps coming. He's 6'4". Got his hands up and bothered Jaworski some.
That might have been the defensive play of the game. I believe Jaworski had an open receiver in Carmichael. Shotgun formation. The ball game could be right here. Third down and 10. Jaworski trying to go a screen to Wilbert Montgomery, overthrows it.
Banks made the big play again, rookie. Unbelievable rookie. Sizemore's been doing a job on him. This guy's got such great instinct. He'll take an inside rush this time. Fake outside, quick inside. Look at that, he's by. He gets the hurry. Jaworski had to throw it away.
Sizemore tried to cut him and couldn't even cut him, Wayne.
Oh, he's just so quick.
Now here's your ball game. With 5:08 left, 3 timeouts. You can see the signals coming in. You're trying for 7 points because you trail by 4. And this is fourth down. It's shotgun time. Montgomery, Camfield, flanked the quarterback, number 7, and he's been brilliant today. Jaworski going outside to Billy Camfield. Camfield steps out at the 15-yard line. Boy, he runs a good pass back.
I've seen him 2 weeks in a row now, Billy Camfield coming out of the backfield, and my impressions are he may be the most underrated back in the National Football League. Look at Sizemore again up front on Banks, has him on the turf.
That is some war up there.
Well, see what a difference it makes. I mean, even if Banks wouldn't have been able to stay up, he's 6'4", gets his hands up, Jaworski may not have had that passing lane out to Camfield. It makes all the difference in the world.
Keep in mind, with 5 minutes left, Jaworski still has 3 timeouts. First down. The toss back to Harrington. Perry Harrington to the 11-yard line. Cousineau in on the tackle.
Good job by Spagnola that time, the tight end on Banks. Had him on the ground again.
I am most impressed with Ron Jaworski's attitude. He is so calm under tremendous pressure.
I think that has a lot to do with the way he played even in the preseason, Tom. He had his best preseason ever. He had the best game of his career last week. He's got a ton of confidence out there right now just because of his past performances.
Never seen him any better. Louis Jamona and Wilbert Montgomery. 2 good receivers are in there. Great drop. Handled. Out the flat. Demota drops the ball. Inside the 10. Burrell was there, but that was catchable. Might have been too hot.
He had it and dropped it. Jaworski did hammer it in there. But Jamona's going to catch that more times than he's not.
And remember, the field goal doesn't mean anything here. We're always talking about that 4-point swing. 3 will get you a tough ride in the airplane back to Philadelphia.
Now, we haven't seen much here this second half, with Jaworski looking for the tight end. Been concentrating on the outside people and the running back. Don't be surprised if he doesn't go there this time.
The instincts of a linebacker. I knew you'd bring that up. 3rd down and 5. Jaworski from shotgun. He's being rushed. He's got a man, Canfield. Canfield scores a touchdown. Billy Canfield, the little weightlifter with the 9.4 speed, and Jaworski cannot believe it. He was knocked down late. I think Jaworski thinks he was rough as he passed the football. He is mad. I've never seen Ron Jaworski this mad.
They had everybody spread out. There wasn't a tight end in the ball game. 3 wide receivers. Canfield comes out of the backfield. The defense is spread. We said this guy is such a clutch performer. I'm really impressed with him. And he's tough. It's a tough run right at the end to get on in there. Billy Canfield.
Jaworski thinks he was rough. They've got him settled down now. I've never seen Ron Jaworski that hot. He's going to hold now for the extra point. What an uphill battle this would be if the Eagles could pull this game out. There's a lot of time left. Don't go away, folks. It's down on the infield. It's good. Jaworski still talking about getting hit in the face, apparently. Air Vermeil, pretty good. A little bit of heat over his quarterback being roughed.
Here's Canfield again on the score. Canfield played with another pretty famous guy, Nolan Cromwell, at Kansas. Canfield was a blocking back while he was there. Didn't get to carry the ball much or do much, but when he did, he averaged 6.9 yards a carry, and he knows how to get to the end zone.
Guess what? Eddie Johnson, the Georgia assassin, is the man that took a pretty good rush at Ron Jaworski. That's no surprise, I guess. Now remember, the Eagles will be running into that sunlight, and the Browns will be sort of coming out of that shadow. The ball does funny things. Dino Hall and Dwight Walker waiting. This is Tony Franklin. Oh, this is a good kickoff. Dino Hall, 8 yards deep in the end zone, touches it down. Cleveland with 3 timeouts left. The Browns have all 3. Next week. Next Sunday, the Rams, they're from Los Angeles, I'm sure of that, or Anaheim anyway, against Philadelphia, in Philadelphia, which is a bad place to go, and try to win. And the Giants against Pittsburgh. And it's not easy to go into Three Rivers and come out alive either.
Burt Jones at quarterback now, of course, for the Rams. Pittsburgh on a roll. They had a great game against Dallas on Monday night. Terry Bradshaw in the 2 ball games I've seen him this year, once in preseason, and in that one looks to be throwing as well as ever.
There's young Armstrong, the rookie from SMU. Special team man Otho Davis is leading him off. How many do you see? Sometimes the answers aren't very good till you get back home. 4:03 left, a lot of time. Charlie White, the tailback. Cleo Miller, the fullback. The toss back to White. White hit about a yard this side of the line of scrimmage. Kenny Clark making a tackle. Now Seif really has his work cut out for him. One of the best defenses,
no
right?
No question. One of the best defenses in the National Football League, but Seif has done this a lot of times before, as we mentioned. The Cardiac Kids a couple of years ago. That was just a good effort that time by the nose tackle Ken Clark in the middle. You see the time run down close to 3:30 in this one.
Every run takes a lot of seconds if the Eagles can hold it so that the chains don't move. Less than 3.5. Logan in motion. He hasn't caught a ball today. Uh-oh. Might be offside. Looks like Brown. Here's the draw play to Cleo Miller. Miller has a first down. The Browns get out of a hole. Was Brown pulled off sides? Looked like Sighton might have used a funny cadence, huh? Good idea.
He did that before.
Take the play. Move the sticks. Now everybody on that defensive line saying, who was it?
Offside, number 68 defense. Penalty decline. First down.
It wasn't Dennis Harrison. It was not Harrison. Who
No, I
knows
don't
they
think
called
so.
it wrong.
Yeah, it was over there on the right side.
It was 98. Well, if you identify those guys incorrectly, you can get hurt. First and 10. Ball's in the 38. The blitz. Oh, Cyphus knocked down. Overthrown is Logan. And the Cleveland quarterback is really stretched.
Carl Hairston. Carl Hairston he just came pouring through that time.
Like
watch him, you'll see him coming to the left of Sipes. Sipes is left. A little blitz on over there to use up the guard. Hairston comes down in the gap. Nobody to pick him up, and he unloaded on Brian Sipes.
In baseball, that would be a brushback pitch. You hit my quarterback, I hit yours. This is bitter stuff. It's 3:09 left at Cleveland Stadium, and it's a 17-14 Eagle lead. They never led till the fourth period. Pressure's on. Here comes Dennis Harrison. Harrison sacks Sight back on the 25-yard line. That's the biggest defensive play that Harrison's made since he's been an Eagle.
NFL coaches will concur that the quarterback sack in the last quarter of a ball game is worth about 3, perhaps 4 points to your team. It's the biggest play you can make on defense at this crucial stage of the game. Dennis Harrison coming in on a stunt, looped up inside, kept coming, had only one arm on side, but with his strength got him down.
Looks like the Eagles are doing a lot of stunting on that defensive line of scrimmage now, too, huh?
Done more of that and more in linebacker blitz today than I've seen them.
Dino Hall is in, the little return man. Here's Sipe. Everybody's out of the backfield. Sipe going deep. Oh, Dino Hall makes the catch at the 42-yard line. The smallest man in pro football makes the biggest play.
Dino Hall, 5'7", 165 pounds. Watch the adjustment he makes. Toughest ball you can catch, right over the top of his head gear. He came up with it, working against the linebacker Robinson.
First and 10 to the 43. 1:59 left. Now the Browns still have 3 timeouts, and a field goal for the Browns would at least get them a tie and a chance for overtime. It's close, and it's late. 17-14. Second 5. That's what's going on. Less than 2 minutes. 1:56 left.
This has been an amazing game, Tom. Just, one big play after another. Dennis Harrison makes one for the Eagles. Dino Hall comes back and makes one for the Browns.
Dino Hall is 5'7", 165 pounds. What a catch. Here's Sipe. These 2 good football teams playing here. Dino Hall is in the game. Sipe got Dino Hall out of the backfield. Dino Hall misses the football. Ball was not thrown too cleanly. He might have been looking back into the sun.
In his hands and then out. The Eagles with a blitz that time again.
It's a tough sun to look back into very quickly.
It has to be.
Someday they'll probably have those glasses like baseball outfielders have where you can flip them down. This division, 20-20 in overtime, Cincinnati and Pittsburgh. 3rd down and 5. This could be the ball game here. All the way across. Charlie White. White has a first down inside the 30, and Sipe was really cool. He waited a long time. 2 timeouts left, but they're not using one yet.
Brian Sipe with all kinds of time that time, thanks to his offensive line. Charlie White out of the backfield, run all the way across the field on the linebacker Jerry Robinson, and Sipe was able to get it to him. Look at the clock.
3 plays before they would have to settle perhaps for a field goal. Backfield in motion as Charlie White jumped a little early, number 25. Big break for the defense and for the Eagles.
You betcha. Any mistake down there, anything this time of the ball game can turn out to be disastrous. Charlie White
I thought he was going to shift, didn't you? I thought he was going to shift
up. Looked like he was going
set.
in motion or something. He jumped the count just a touch, and you can tell he is just beside himself. Thing he's got to do now is put that out of his mind. That happened the last play, and get ready to play this next one.
Number 25 offense.
The clock is stopped. They show Cleveland with 3 timeouts still. Thought they might have burned one, but they have 3. Remember that. It's Sipe is a master at working on the clock. 1st and 15. Logan in motion. Everybody's out. He's got a lot of time. Sipe is being chased. He throws. Intercepted and knocked away. Caught by Ozzie Newsome. Newsome catches a touchdown pass. One of the great catches in National Football League history. Is Sam Rutigliano. Everybody else in Cleveland just jumped out of the upper deck. Ozzie Newsome makes one of the great catches you'll ever see against Roynell Young. Matt Barr for the extra point. What a pass and catch. It's good. What a catch by the man from the Crimson Tide.
It's almost unbelievable what's happening in this ball game today. Look at Sipe back here now. Initially, he has plenty of time. You see Newsome going across the middle. He'll go to the sideline. Sipe's going to have to move around. No one's open. Now he unleashes it. Roynell Young has played it perfectly. He goes up high to make the catch. He can't come up with it. Newsome outfights him for the football, and the Browns lead. Roynell Young is down. But I'll tell you what, he played it as good as you can play it. He just didn't make the catch.
A battle of number 1 draft choices, and this time the receiver won. A word to you viewers in the Toledo area. In a few minutes, we'll be leaving this game to bring you coverage of the Los Angeles Rams-Detroit Lions game. We make the switch to satisfy our contract with the National Football League. Once you've joined your game there, the NFL Today will keep you up to date on the final minutes of this game. Only for you people in the Toledo area. There he is. Now remember, the edge is back now, the 4 points, so that the Eagles must get a touchdown. No field goal. The kick by Cox, low, taken by Slater. The Minnesota Firefly gets out to the 35. Pretty good ball carrier. Now you've got 3 timeouts for Philadelphia. 52 seconds left.
Well, the tough thing about this situation, it's the same one that the Eagles faced last week against Washington. A field goal won't do them any good. They got to get in the end zone. They did it last week against the Redskins when they marched 90 yards, capped by that great catch by Harold Carmichael. We'll go ahead.
We'll set the lineup. Mike Quick is in, the number 1 rookie, to the bottom of the screen. Wilbert Montgomery is slotted. We are shotgun now. Smith and Carmichael to the top of the screen. Jaworski outside to Harold Carmichael, who catches it off his shoes and steps out before midfield.
Jaworski's pass is completed to Harold Carmichael.
Now that's a set of hands.
No, I was just going to say, did he catch that? It was a great grab over there because Jaworski threw him a sinker.
A low slider that dipped. 46 seconds. The clock was stopped by Carmichael jumping out of bounds. This has been really a great football game. First and 10. Uh-oh, Cleveland's off. Jaworski going across, almost intercepted, intended for Mike Quick.
Jaworski pass incomplete. Intended for Mike Quick. Flags on the play.
Looks like Robinson might have jumped. Looks like Vermeil's trying to get somebody's attention. Flags are down. Clock is stopped because of this, so the Eagles still have 3 timeouts to burn.
So that was a free one for Jaworski. Prevent defense in there now for Cleveland, and because of injuries, they've got the rookie that we talked about earlier, Mark Offensis, in there.
Offside, defensive right end. Still first down.
Mike Robinson offsides, as we stated earlier. First and 5, 41 seconds. San Francisco, Denver, immediately following this game, but this was not over with yet. Carmichael and Ron Smith to the bottom of the screen. Jaworski across the middle for Quick, catches the ball. There's a yellow flag down. Quick caught the ball about the 34-yard line. What a diving catch that was by a rookie.
Quick there, #1 draft choice. And they said one of the things I liked about him, he'd catch it over the middle.
On the defense, number 21, penalty decline, first down. Yes.
Keep in mind, the Eagles cannot use the foot of Tony Franklin. 4 points.
The illegal contact was on number 23, not 21, number 23.
That was the rookie Kafensis that we were talking about just the play before.
Montgomery's in. Billy Camfield is in, the third down receiver. Shotgun time. Jaworski, number 7, has gone all the way and been extremely good today. Smith and Carmichael to the bottom. Jaworski going to Harold Carmichael, who catches it, and it goes to the 2.5-3-yard line. Great throw by Ron Jaworski going back. Wow, what a throw and catch.
Jaworski's getting all kinds of time from his offensive line. That time Carmichael on Judson Flint. And a great touch pass by number 7 Jaworski as he lofted it over Flint's head. Watch this. There's the 2 of them right there in your picture. They'll be the primary players in this one. Flint tries to get a chuck up there, doesn't do much. Right away, Carmichael gets 2 or 3 steps on him, and the ball is there.
It's very quiet. There are 80,000 people approximately here in Cleveland. I mean, it is a very quiet ballpark. 27 seconds on the clock. Remember, Jaworski failed to score from the 1-foot line early in this football game. This is not an easy squad to score from inside that 5.
Jaworski was thwarted that time as he tried to run a bootleg with no blocking in front of him.
He has a lot of people here, too. He played at Youngstown State and upstate Lackawanna's where he's from, which is not too far up near Buffalo. He's got a lot of people there.
Well, he said the Browns were his favorite team when he was growing up. He's been in this stadium to watch him play a lot and never played here before.
A lot of people here are going to leave remembering that Ron Jaworski is some kind of a quarterback. Overtime score, Pittsburgh beats Cincinnati. Bradshaw hits Stallworth with a 3-yard touchdown pass.
Eagles have 2 timeouts left.
A 3 tight end formation, short yardage offense. Handoff. Leroy Harris, the fullback, scores a touchdown. Leroy Harris, at about 2:25, scores the touchdown with 22 seconds left. And Jaworski did jump for joy.
Leroy Harris, the guy they called a gamer, had a strong blocking game last week for Wilbert Montgomery when Montgomery scored the rushing touchdowns. This time it's turned around. Harris has the ball. Watch this tough run. The veteran who they got from Miami.
Remember what Jaworski told us yesterday? They call him the Survivor. That's his nickname because he acts like he's got a million pains and aches in practice, but he plays pretty well on Sundays, doesn't he?
It didn't look like he was hurting on that run.
Franklin off the dirt at second base. Guy Morris a little bit irate. Somebody jumped the gun on the offensive center.
Same kind of drive as the Eagles had put on them last week by the Redskins. Boy, it went 65 yards in 5 plays, with Harris capping it with a 2-yard run.
Bill Friel, my man from Norristown, my spotter, says that may have been Reggie Wilkes that pulled somebody off.
Blocking back on the right side.
It is Reggie Wilkes. This is for the extra point. Has nothing to do with the touchdown run by the survivor, Leroy Harris.
They're going to march it back 5 yards, and this is a fairly good-sized extra point. The score right now is 23-21. There's a 2-point difference in this ball game.
And remember, field goal means something from the Cleveland offensive standpoint. This extra point's very important. This is a deep second base spot now. The little man doesn't like to kick off the dirt. Oh, he kicked this one. So it's within 3. 24-21. 22 seconds left. All 20s. The Eagles with no victories yet. And the Cleveland Browns with not a defeat yet. People around here next week will be able to see some football action too. I don't know how you can top what you've seen today, but the Rams are in Philadelphia. And the New York Giants take that lovely trip to Pittsburgh.
Yeah, the Eagles are going to wear their fans out if they keep playing games like they have these 2 opening weeks of this season.
Denver entertaining the San Francisco 49ers. That's coming up right after our ball game. So you people that get a chance to watch 2 games may have cardiac arrest. This is going to be a pretty tough day for you.
Yeah, get a couple breaths before you watch that one. That's liable to be a good one, too.
Wayne Walker's going to kill me if all our games are like this. He comes back to CBS and we have 2 of these burners coming out. Walker, you're dynamite. Here's the kick from the 35 by Tony Franklin. This is a shorter kick. Taken by Dino Hall. Oh, Dino Hall breaks out to the 33-yard line. Bernard Wilson made his 4th tackle on the kickoff team.
Might have made a saver there as Dino Hall had a head of steam up.
It's a heck of a time for the kicker to get his only short kickoff of the day.
18 seconds left now. And Cleveland has 3 timeouts left. They've got to get down, I would say, probably to about the 30-yard line of the Eagles before they get within Matt Barr's range.
Well, this is the loosest prevent defense you'll ever see the Eagles play, and they've got guys drop clear back into Eagle territory. Side dumps it out in the flat to Cleo Miller of the screen. What a good call. Miller does not get out of bounds, or does. He does get out of bounds and almost gets the first down. Richard Blackmore making the tackle. Sticks are moved. Not much time. 9 seconds. 3 timeouts.
You know, we've got Matt Barr as their normal field goal kicker, but that guy, Steve Cox, is their long-range guy. He does the kicking off. He does the punting. And if they have to go for a long field goal, which they feel is out of Matt Barr's range, it'll be number 15.
And he's a straightaway kicker, huh? Of course, now, I guess Sipe is still thinking, move it, move it, move it. The Eagles have, let's see what kind of a nickel they have. They may have a dime in there. They may have all defensive backs and about 3 linemen.
Well, I'm not sure what what they're talking about over there. I know they're talking about play selection, but they've got to be considering some other things too. They're going to talk about if they throw a pass and it's completed, they've got to get the timeout called right away, or time could run out on them. They've got to get that field goal team on the field.
You pre-call about 3 plays, do you? Or 2
They don't have time for that. They've got to think that they've got to be successful on their next play and then get the field goal team in there if it doesn't go for 7 points.
It's one of the great receivers around, the Colorado Buffalo, Logan, who has not had a reception today.
I know, almost incredibly. They haven't gone to him that much, and Seif has now to look for him.
Kansas City upset San Diego, and the Saints beat the Chicago Bears.
They got a stacked deck over here, 3 wide receivers on the right.
Seif being rushed. Seif is intercepted by Herman Edwards at the 35. Edwards is going to stall it out, get out of bounds. That's the ball game. You're not going to see a crazier football game or a better football game maybe all year long. Maybe not in your lifetime. A big pass rush forced that last one by Greg Brown. Our executive producer has been Terry O'Neill. Our senior producer is Charles H. Milton III, better known as Red Eye. Produced by Michael Burks, our man right here with us down in the truck. Good job, Michael. And Peter Bleckner, who is learning a lot about football, and we're learning a lot about television. And all the rest of the people that have made this one of those days. Dick Vermeil in the foreign confines of Cleveland Stadium. That was some comeback win.
I'll tell you what, it was a courageous performance and tremendous effort on the part of both teams. It's a shame when they're walking off that one of them has to be a loser in this one.
Walker, you're dynamite, buddy. This is Tom Brookshire saying so long from Cleveland. For Wayne Walker, this is Tom Brookshire saying the final score. The final score was Philadelphia 24, Cleveland 21.